So that is kind of material intelligence, like, we know how to work out on things, we know the logic, we know, how to deal with situations. So this is kind of material intelligence. Now, what is spiritual intelligence? Spiritual intelligence is important. Spiritual intelligence helps us to make the decisions. Spiritual intelligence helps us to discriminate. Spiritual intelligence helps us to really take a step back, gives us that intelligence. Okay, it is the time to take a step back and then think about it and then make an action. So, this is spiritual intelligence. Now, what happens is when we chant the holy names, when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day, in the background, it is building our muscles for the spiritual intelligence. So, the more we chant, uh, the more sincerity we put in chanting the holy names, it in the background is building our spiritual intelligence. And when the time comes, when the temptations come, or when the difficult situation comes, when the stress comes, and we have to act, then this spiritual intelligence actually helps. So that's why chanting of the holy names is such a powerful process. Now, chanting of the holy names, that has to be done during the peace time, right? Yes, we have to do it during the wartime also, because that is the time we can intensify our chanting. But the peace time is very important. When the things are going right, when we have our routine lives going, when we have our schedule in place, when no, day-to-day stress is okay, but no additional stress in our life, then it is very, very important to focus on chanting of the holy names every day. Because just like, to get energy, we have to eat every day, right? Uh, Also, if we want to build our muscles, like our bodily muscles, then we have to go to gym. We can do, okay, once in a month or few days in a month, and then I expect to be a bodybuilder. We can't do that, right? So we have to go it every day. So consistency and sincerity. So when we practice chanting of the holy names with consistency and sincerely, we say now religiously I go to gym, right? Or religious I take the diet religiously. So similarly, this is the topmost religious thing. So if we do it religiously every day, very, very sincerely, then in the background, it builds up our spiritual intelligence muscles. Now, this is about the peacetime. Now, what happens when we come to a wartime? When the challenges comes, when the situation comes, when the difficulties comes, when things are not going according to us. So there is a even more important thing, or there's an even more important principle we can take shelter of. Now, yes, we will build up our spiritual intelligence to deal with the situation, but sometimes that's not enough. That's not enough. During the difficult times, and this is what I have experienced in my life, the best thing, the most important thing that helped when the difficulties comes is association, is the shelter. Because, and how it works is because our very basic need is to love and to be loved. And when we have all other crises, and if we get this thing, means if we have someone in our life who can share love or care, we can say love and care, right? So if someone is there in our life who can give love and care, then that's that itself solves most of the challenges we have in life. So during the peacetime, chanting of the holy names is most important. Consistently chanting the holy names. And during the wartime, we have to take shelter of the association. So we should have someone, one or two, at least one or two seniors or people in our life where we can very, very confidently go, okay, I have challenge. I'm going through this. So we should not be thinking twice, who should I go to? We should not be uh, hesitant. Should I go or should I not go? No. So during the peacetime, we should cultivate some loving relationships in our lives with our seniors, and the qualities of that person who we want to take shelter, especially during the difficult times, is threefold. So that person has to be like minded, who can understand our heart and mind, and we can connect with them happily, Sajatiya. And then also, that person should be very, very affectionate towards us. I mean, we have so many relationships. We have professional relationships, we have family relationships. Not all of them we feel that affection, right? So some relationships, we get so much of love and affection without any motives, right? So it has to be snigdha. So Sajatiya and Snigdha, so they should be very affectionate towards us, and then also they should have lot more experience than us. They should know how they can help us, right? That's the only way we can get help. So these are the threefold qualities we can say in someone who we can take shelter. So they should be very affectionate towards us. They should be um, having more experience than us, and we should be able to connect with them. So once that is there, we should be regularly meeting and establishing our relationship during the peace time. So it's not that, okay, someone is there and we don't have to talk to them much, but at the wartime, when I'm in trouble, then I can go to them. That doesn't work like that. So we have to establish this relationship, right? So if we are chanting very nicely every day, that gives us spiritual intelligence. And then when we connect with those who we can relate to, who are very senior to us and who are very affectionate to us on regular basis, then when the situation comes, we should not even think twice. We should not think of anything else, but we should directly go to them. We should directly go to them and express our hearts. We should express our situation. We can tell them that I'm going through this. We should not try to solve the problem ourselves, because that's foolishness. Well, it doesn't mean that we don't have confidence on us, or we are lacking self-confidence. No, it's not like that. I mean, it's basically smart. If we have help, why not to take help, right? If there is, for example, there's a big box we have to lift, and oh, I have strength, I'm going to pick it up, my own strength, I have muscles. Well, if there are some a small crane or some trolley is there, then smart way is to use that, isn't it? So smart work rather than hard work, we always hear that. So the smartness is that we should have help, and we should not hesitate to take this help. So when we chant every day and we continue to build these relationships like our counselors or our mentors, we have to be regularly in touch with them. We have to establish this relationship on day-to-day basis, right? And then when the challenges or crisis comes, then we should not even think twice. We should directly go to them. And I would like to share a few examples from scriptures and from my personal life of these principles. There's a beautiful story of Gajendra, right? So Gajendra was in a very, very difficult situation. He was the king of elephants, and one time he was bathing in beautiful lake, and then suddenly a crocodile came and grabbed him very, very strongly, and it was very, very hard for him to get out on his own strength. So at that point, what exactly happened is that Gajendra was a king in his previous life, and he was a very pious king. And he was practicing chanting of the holy names and mantras and devotional services very, very nicely. So at that difficult situation, that past devotional practices, those past devotional practices helped him. And he immediately thought the best thing to do is to offer prayers to the Lord and offer flower. And then that's what he did, and he got saved. He didn't just get saved, but he got a lot of kripa because he used his spiritual muscles, right? Now, I work for Department of Defense, federal government, and you all probably know what is going on in the federal government, right? Everyone is aware? Oh my God. For past couple of months, dear friends, we are seeing the layoffs every day. Our workspaces are kind of prison houses right now, and I'm not exaggerating. We are getting all these executive orders and mandates, and how they are coming to the federal workers is very, very terrifying. On the day our new president came in, since that day, after a couple of weeks, we had so many cameras all over. So first thing they did is install the cameras all over our workspace. Federal government, we never had this kind of situation, and almost every cubicle is under watch all the time. Like, what are you doing? Now our internet is being watched all the time. Like, okay, what are you opening any personal email website? We can do that for past couple of weeks, I mean months. We've been so much stress every day. And don't please tell anyone, I'm telling you all these things. Every day there's a roll call. The supervisors come, they watch if their subordinates are there or not. They take a list, and that list goes to Elon Musk's team every day. Elon Musk has sent one of his Dodge personnel to sit on every floor of the federal building, and they're watching everything. So we are under like a lot of stress. So much of stress is going on for past couple of months. And I guess that was the reason my blood pressure shoot up. I mean, really. Um, and then what did I do? I called my dear Adi Gadadhar Prabhu. He is he's a very, very dear friend, a well-wisher, and very senior Vaishnava who has having a lot of experience to deal with these situations. And immediately I go to him and I told him, Prabhu, I'm going through this. And then he advised me in so many ways, also how to take care of the health and how to deal with the situations. So that really, really helped. And it's always been helping. So once again, just to summarize, we have to build up our spiritual muscles, spiritual intelligence, and that happens by chanting the holy names consistently every day with sincerity. And at the same time, we have to build up the relationship with someone who we can trust, someone who we can go to, during our war situation. So we go to them without any hesitation, with full faith that I have someone. And when the difficult time comes, we just approach them, open our heart. We should not keep anything back. We should not hold anything back, but open our heart and be vulnerable. Let us be vulnerable, because that is the best help that can come to us. So with that, I thank Prabhuji, and I'll pass on to. Okay. We have Sankirtan Yagya Prabhu also here.
Sankirtan Prabhu, yes.
Sankirtan Yagya.
Yeah, Sankirtan Yagya.
I'm done.
Hare Krishna. So Sankirtan Yagya Prabhu has been one of the very senior preachers in Maryland, University of Maryland here. And he used to put book tables and distribute thousands of Prabhupada's books. And he also personally cooks prasad. That's why you see him in this dress always. He is always cooking and feeding hundreds and thousands of people. He personally drives the food truck, and then he goes and distributes. So both prasadam distribution and book distribution is very expert. He's doing for decades together. And he also has a lot of faith in Shraddha and the chanting of the holy name.
College preaching.
College preaching also, yeah. And I've seen many of his videos of him sitting at the table and distributing books. So whenever we have retreats like this, we always request him to come and address and enthuse our devotees. You will see him when he speaks that he can really shake us and wake us up. So we are very fortunate to have Prabhu. He's very busy. He has taken our time exclusively to come and be with us for 15-20 minutes. We'll request Sankirtan. Let's welcome him. Hari Bol.
Anybody here new for the first time? Okay, that's good.
Any of you are seeing for the first time, Prabhu? Yes, sir. You are seeing for the first time.
You haven't seen?
No.
But everybody here is not new to this program, chanting or Krishna. That's not foreign to you then, correct? Correct?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Come on, people, if you're gonna listen, you gotta be awake. I mean, if I told you you're gonna die in 7 days, you'd be paying attention. There was a person that was gonna die in 7 days, and how did he get perfection? He heard. We want to see God, but you can't see God through the ear. You have to hear first. He heard the knowledge, and in 7 days he was ready. So you're here to hear. And so if I say something and I don't hear a response, I don't think maybe you're not hearing. And I can't give you Krishna consciousness in how many minutes have you given me?
15 to 20 minutes.
How many?
15 to 20 minutes.
15
15 to 20?
And you can take a question also.
Okay. Yeah, I can't do that. So I'm not going to try. But if I can stimulate you enough to keep coming back, then I've succeeded in my endeavor. But everything that you're going to hear, you're going to have to hear. And you're going to have to hear until this cloth wears out. It's a lot of hearing. Prabhupada said, you read these books till they become threadbare. So don't think that this is going to be just a short walk in the woods. But actually, it is the shortest walk in the woods you could ever find. Because why? What happened? Well, 500 years ago, Krishna got sick and tired of people not surrendering. He got sick and tired of all the hodgepodge on the planet. Everybody had some way of doing something to approach him. But there was not a real tattva, a real sincere, pure truth. And he was upset with that. And Narada Muni even came and told him. And so he had to come here. He had to come. This is his program. You're my children. And you're out in the woods running crazy and you bring tears to my eyes. I need you back home. I want to love you. I want to be with you. So he wanted to come, and he was stimulated to come here too. because he had a personal motivation. Everyone has a personal motivation, but the Supreme Personality had a personal motivation too, to come here. Externally, it sees that his kids are running and crazy in the street, and he sent so many people here all the time. Look at history. How many people have come here to get us, drag us back home? A couple thousand years, Jesus. He's our spiritual master. We have to understand that the truth is but one. And if someone comes with love and service of love of God, what can be the problem, Prabhupada said. So, Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya, he's Krishna. He's the Supreme Personality who's come. And why would he come? He came to discover something personally, but he came to give something to us to discover what he wanted to discover at the same time. So he came and he said, oh my God, this is a nightmare here. They see the orange robe and they go the other way. They see the orange robe, they don't have time for that. No, I got my own intelligence and I'm gonna master everything. And man has done a good job in America. He's mastered the material energy pretty damn good. It's really amazing what we've done. I mean, look, we got an electric car that sees out all sides. I mean, we got so much that the list started from Ben Franklin and electricity all the way. I mean, this part of the planet seems like it's more like Bart Varsa than the real Bart Varsa. But because it's materialistically advanced, it is Bart Varsa, but not really. Bart Varsa is where Krishna arranged to do everything, and that's the real estate of the planet. But he came, and in his desire to everybody to get into us, it was impossible. No way to get close to the Supreme Personality with the nightmare that we are living. There's no way. I mean, the literature that we have that is him, the manifestation of him in writing, are the Vedas, and that's the highest knowledge. There's always been knowledge here on the planet. Can't deny that. So for us to handle all that, for us to handle all the translations, that's many lifetimes already. There's no way we're going to catch up to that. So he put us on fast forward. He gives us he says, okay, we don't have time to even stream. I need to give it to you right away. I'm going to give it to you right away. And oh my God, you have no qualities. You have no good qualities. Is there any quality that I can see? The manifestation of Kali Yuga is the perfection of ignorance. It's such a darn shame. It's all these living entities, I have them in, and they're not even going to ever get it together. We can have 4 classes of society, but we have 100 grades below that. All those lower grades besides those 4, and everyone's swimming in that nonsense. It's actually Krishna's energy that he manifests, but he manifests that for those that just want to be somewhere else, because he's here to try to satisfy us. So he'll put you somewhere else and look at this. And we think it's all real fine, but there's something inside us. There's something that's the difference between a living entity and a dead entity, called some spirit, some energy. We don't even want to say spirit, because here in this material world in America, we don't want spirit. So I say energy. There's an energy. And there's an energy that's happening inside each of us. And so we say, oh, this is a beautiful body. Prabhupada said, it's a beautiful body. It's a wonderful body. It does all kinds of things. It's beautiful only as long as there's that energy's in it. When the energy's gone, what is that thing? We might be, we're not robots, so we have a sentiment. So we're attached to that thing that doesn't have any energy anymore, but it's called the body. So we put it in America, we put it in a coffin. And if we ain't got no money, we leave it die in the street. And if we're from India, we'll burn it. So what happens though? All those forms are nothing but going back into earth, or we're going to become stool when it's eaten by an animal, or ashes. So good. What good is that? It's nothing. That's not us. Then we missed the boat. Who is it? And that's the spirit, that energy. Not even, don't say the word spirit. It's energy. So there's energy. There's a energy that's, you can see manifesting, that's material. And then there's a higher energy. And that higher energy is who we really are. You've got to be able to pinpoint who you are. And if I am that, then where is that knowledge that will explain more about that? And on this planet, there are many institutions for you to discover that. And what is the common link that makes this happen? Is the spirit. The common link is spirit. And that, so if the spirit wants to have some connection, he'll get it because it's here. You just have to get connected. So Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's no difference between Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No, but there is an intensity of energy difference. There's a little bit more energy difference that we have that's manifested, that he's offering, that we all need. And that was the energy of the sound vibration of Hare Krishna mantra. He gave this as a gift, and anyone who takes this and remembers him and his Panchatattva, if they remember him and they take to this chanting, they can put it on fast forward and be where you want to be. A living entity can get where he has to be, just connecting to that energy of a sound vibration. And we, just like that king got connected by sound, we're getting connected by that sound too. And that sound has potency. Sound has so much potency that if it's such a high frequency, it can shatter glass. Those of you that are going to school right now, after 4 years of sound from a professor, you're a different human being. Sound is not something that can be taken lightly. So now through sound, we address the highest energy. And when you address that higher energy, it's just like if I give you a piece of pizza, I don't have to confirm it. Oh, it tastes good and you're going to get energy from it. I don't have to confirm. You taste it. You taste it. You don't need that. You can hear me. You can taste it. You'll feel it. And that's the energy. We're connecting energy now. And you get on the highest energy. So in all humility, you just do like that. Well, okay, who's one of your favorite stars? And let's see, who's real cool to you? What do you guys play cricket? Who's the king of cricket? Okay, so some of you that can say that mantra, that means you know that guy's heavy. So he means something to you. So you invite the heavy cricket guy to your house. Do you pay attention to him? Yes. Oh yeah, come on, sit down, have a good time. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I ignored you. I brought you here and then I'm ignoring. What kind of guest am I? Something most significant that you're doing and calling, and then you're just putting it on the back burner or whatever. You're here, you're just here, but that's not it. I called you, you mean something to me, and now I will address you with that intensity, that focus, utmost intensity, utmost reverence, utmost humility. If you can't do anything, just pay attention. You brought me here. So the living entity is calling with this energy. You might start out somewhere. We're all starting somewhere. But if you get to the point where you're supposed to be as a living entity, that spirit that's manifest, you'll always be happy. Daytime, nighttime, good time, bad times, nothing will bother you. It'll appear. Prabhupada uses this wording. Pretty soon you'll have to understand what it means. Everything is so full. Because however you identify it, it's just nothing but so-called inconvenience. It's nothing. There's no inconvenience anywhere once you link this spiritual energy. It's not the spirit. Once you link yourself to the highest energy, you feel the sense of the three senses of the energy. What is it? Eternality, knowledge, bliss. Bliss. This is what we're searching for on the material platform, some happiness. But we got so much more yet. And it all can be capsulized if you just follow the path of one who knows the truth. So we have a manual that we live by that it tells the truth. And it was Krishna. He spoke this knowledge to us. We have a manual to figure it out. So there's no speculation here, and you can get guided. You know, we'll get past a certain point that I, me, and mine. Even in Krishna consciousness, we get into it. I, me, and mine. I mean, I was so attached to I, me, and mine. I went to India, I guess it was 30, 40 years ago. And I knew there was a person named Krishna, and he was in Nandagram. He never leaves. So I went there to look for him. And I didn't see him. Oh. I realized I hadn't gotten where I wanted to get yet. So we need to get to the highest level of this sense of the spirit, of the soul, of the jiva, the little piece you are. And you have to align yourself with that understanding. So how do we do it? We traverse this path by this mantra, this sound. And that sound is different than any other sound. It comes from the spiritual world. And so now that I'm getting more deep into this, I'm going to start using the word spiritual, because I think maybe you can handle it. But the reality is, we need to connect ourselves with that spiritual energy, because that's who we really are. And once you make this connection, it will work. It's called Cheto Darpana Marjanam. And I was thinking, I don't have to come here. These people have been with the conduit to saintliness. I know him forever, haven't we? 30 years has gone by like boom. When you're sitting in Lokadaksa Vidurva's house, he was a beaten up little Indian guy. He just came here to catch his breath, because all he was doing is working his butt off in India, serving everyone. And he was so humble and so kind. I said, what is this? What is this entity? He was so sweet. I had no idea he was the monster that could chisel away Indian culture and elevate them to the highest level of Prabhupada consciousness. I can't even come here. I mean, it's in good hands, you know. And I was swimming in the holy name for about 4 hours this morning, because I was working so hard that no one's going to bother me now. And then the little monster, he knows I'll answer his phone. Are you coming? Coming where? What do you guys don't need me. But I realized that, you know, it's not whether they need me or not. It's that I need their association. I need to get their blessings. So I better get greedy and go over there. And so I just wanted to come here to try to stimulate you a little bit, to try to change my state. This is a path and a process that we have to take. As human beings, this is all there is for the human to understand. Nothing else. And you think if you have it together, right now, we could see a capsule of history repeating itself within our American culture. Just look at the nonsense. Prabhupada explains in a lecture, it's first canto, second chapter, it's called Divinity. Organize your structure, your society. It's a series of lectures that he gives on the Bhagavatam in California. And it's like the second lecture, and it's about the culture. Oh, you have 4 classes, but right now you have the Sudras and you have the Vaishyas. He said, but we're 99% 99.9% Sudra. You have the Vaishyas, they're all doing anything. But where's the Brahmins and where's the Kshatriyas? They're not here. This is what you have to establish. And he said, and a man, and he hit it on the head. He goes, a person who was a 10th level, 10th, not the 4th, the 10th level Sudra, he has nothing. There's nothing about him. There's no qualifications. Nothing. But because he has money, he is glorified, he's honored, and he has the most. Look at Tesla. Nonsense. Stupid nonsense. Dancing around in front of people with not the Bhagavad Gita, but a chainsaw. What kind of nonsense is that? Unless he's going to use it as a tool to cut through people's ignorance. But no, he wants to advance them on the material plane. See this stupidity. God bless him and everybody else that follows him. You know, and in our materialism, it doesn't matter. You know, Trump was the golden baby who was going to bring us all more money. And the Indians that came here for money, they voted for him. They're happy as can be to have that idiot in office, to give them more money and votes. And some of my closest friends voted for him, the Indians. And they were afraid to talk to me about it because they knew I'd kick them in the face. So they said, oh, I didn't vote. I said, that's even worse. You should vote for the lesser of two evils if you're going to vote. Somebody that's trying to manifest a little spirituality is better than none. So the whole thing is a quagmire. But Prabhupada says in that lecture, he goes, oh, yeah, that what you do in an artificial way, you got it in an artificial way. What happens? It don't last. Now, what's so funny? You guys aren't even old enough to vote. You missed the punchline. So we have the same situation here now today. I remember when Trump came into office, I told Prithu, a black body devotee of ours, he's a real amazing saint. I called him up because I told my wife that night, I said, honey, don't worry. He ain't going to make it. America's not that stupid. I woke up, they were that stupid. I said, oh, that's over half America that he won. So this is a real nightmare. So guess what my realization was? I have to chant more. And I have to become purified because this is a nightmare. And I told Prithu, I guess you know what happens. He goes, what, Prabhu? More chanting. He goes, you darn right. So now the same situation happened again. He came back in and I said, oh God, what's going to happen now? Well, he won. But the reality is that this time it wasn't as bad because he only got 1/3. The other third, she didn't get. But then there was a third that didn't vote. So he really didn't get it all. So now if they have a chance the next 4 years, they might vote for somebody with some type of sanity and some type of mold to following the standard way. I mean, in God we trust. We've tweaked that statement. We ripped the Indians off, the regular American Indians. This whole thing is based on an illusion as we can see it. And we don't have that perspective. Well, where does it come from then? It comes from the sadhus, those people who know the truth. They're going to tell you the truth. And you'll hear it and you'll hear it and you'll hear it. And like I said, once it wears out, it's going to be in your heart and no one will change you. And what you'll do is just stay with it in all sincerity. And each one of us is on a different path going back home. So, but we can sort of fly together, you know, stay together with this and you'll have a higher experience. There's no doubt about it. And you'll be okay. We're all going to be okay because the soul's eternal. And if this whole thing comes to an end, you'll hang out waiting to get another body. But if you're smart, you'll cross the path with one who's enlightened. They'll give you some knowledge that will stimulate you, and you'll want to follow that. Because there's nothing else that will resonate like that. And if you think there is, okay, stop listening to him and go start listening to the radio. There's not going to be anything that's going to stimulate you like this. Nothing. And then you'll be back. Because once you get contaminated with the COVID, you're going to keep it. And it'll keep coming back. So if you have some intelligence, then what do? You get it over in this lifetime and go back. But actually, there's no going back. That's so-called going back. You're already back. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, you're already there. If you take the devotional service and bhakti yoga, you're already there. So the science is to be there before you get there. So this is what we're doing. We're going to be there before we get there. And therefore, you're already, it appears that I'm in America, in North America, in New York. But really, my heart is in Vrindavan. So therefore, I'm always in Vrindavan, Prabhupada explains. So it's a matter of consciousness. That's all. If we can make it so simple, but the complexity is the ears. Between the ears is the mind. And it makes it has a whole another solution. But you can dismiss that. You can dismiss all of that if you just simply don't even do anything except chant the holy name, distinctly pronounce, attentively hear. Distinctly pronounce, attentively hear, become so absorbed. And that's called samadhi, total absorption. Learn to be totally absorbed. Chanting is for chanting, not when you sit down and chant and you start thinking of Trump and all the nonsense. The chanting is not background music for everything else the mind wants to do. Chanting is the foreground, and you chant is for chanting. Chant is for chanting. When you sit down, I've addressed my favorite cricket player. Let me give him all my attention. There's nothing more wonderful than to be able to be directly in association with the Supreme Personality. There's nothing tops that. So if you can get that simply by this mantra, this is the most amazing thing. The name is the same as the person. There's nothing else like that here. If I say his name, he's not at my house. If I say his name here and we're here, obviously it's there. He's there. But Krishna is there in his name. Krishna is there in the books. Krishna is there in those who manifest Krishna only. He's there. He's where his devotees are. He's there. And actually, Prabhupada says, deity worship, he says, is for those that are a little more mature. Because they can't see that Krishna's everywhere. So we give him this form to see. But reality, Prabhupada says, isn't Krishna in the air? Isn't Krishna the light? Isn't this? And we realize Krishna's everywhere. That's a high tattva. But the main thing is, you start somewhere, my dear devotees, and the starting is through the holy name. And you get guided by Srila Prabhupada and his disciples to just hang in there and to do the right thing. That's all. It's not really that bad if you just keep trying. Keep trying. Because guess what? Krishna's also in your heart, hanging out, watching. Oh, you ain't trying enough. Maybe I need to give you a couple more obstacles to realize this is a bad taste. Or if he sees you're loving him, then he's going to give you nice devotees to associate with. He's going to give you the solutions and the answers, and he's going to give you the taste. But don't be like me. I started out, I said, okay, my spirituality, my advancement, my intensity, it's all my. Get the my out of there and say, oh, what am I doing? All for the pleasure of Guru and Gauranga. All for the pleasure. That's the thing. All for the pleasure. All for the pleasure. Okay. So why did the one become the many? Why did the one become many? For the pleasure. He wanted to enjoy. So Prabhupada says in a lecture, he said, we're all expansions of Radharani. He says like that in this lecture. I said, what? Because I heard him, if you read the end of the Bhagavad Gita, he is, go on in your purity and be the pleasure of the Lord. I said, oh. And I thought to myself, no. The only person that gives pleasure to the Lord is Radharani. So how can he say that I'm in that position? And I'm thinking, well, I got some type of similarity, maybe. And then I heard this lecture, and I realized, yes. He said, you are expansions, but don't miss the point. Don't miss the point. Well, what's the point, Prabhupada? You must pray to Radharani to get the blessings, to serve nicely. So this is a whole amazing science that we get. So you want this pleasure, you have to do the activities to taste it. No big deal. But if you think it's I, me, and my spread, I got to a point, I said, well, what's the problem? What? I felt like I hit a brick wall. Very subtle, but I hit it. And what is the last snare of our spirituality? I, me, and mine. Thinking of yourself. That has to be gone. So you work at getting rid of that and say, oh, Krishna, how can I please you? Oh, Krishna, I'm sitting down to chant. Narada Muni does not chant for his own pleasure. Well, what does he do then? What's he doing? Well, when he chants, he understands that he's glorifying the Lord. And in that glorification, also the name. He said he knows those two are the same. And in those two that are the same, he chants with that understanding, and he enters into the association of the Lord. He enters into that association. And in that entering, guess what? There's happiness and pleasure that you cannot describe. So that's advanced too. We can't imitate that, but we can chant with the conviction, all for your pleasure. I don't even know what that means, but all for your pleasure. I first have to understand the concept. Because if we don't know the process, this is all the alphabet. We don't need the alphabet as Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. That's the alphabet. But if you know the process and you slowly but surely traverse the path, the goal is achieved. It's that simple. So let's keep it together. I'm so happy that you all came, because you came. You forced me to come see this, and now I get to see you all. And I've seen a lot of your faces, and I've been with a lot of your faces for a long time. And I'm really.
They can ask one question also.
Yeah, okay. But if I can't answer it, I don't even care. I can give you the encyclopedia. You can Google it at will. Yes. Anybody? Good, you've understood. Huh. Yes. Good. How's that? Is that okay? Don't ask a question. No, I mean, I get excited. I gave this lecture 5 times on the way
You
here.
can, many of them ask one question.
Okay.
When they are chanting the holy name,
Yes.
especially those who are beginning now,
Okay.
they haven't read or heard much now.
Right.
So they feel, what should we do? Should we think about anything? Or how do we do? Many of them are.
Well, if you're just starting out with anything, it takes time and patience. It's not cheap. Okay. It's going to take time, but you have quality called patience. You have quality called determination. You have quality called enthusiasm. And don't tell me, oh, no, I don't. Yes, you do. Is anybody going to school? You manifest all those qualities. You have them. Just sit back for a minute and say, okay, I'm going to chant. I'm going to sit down now. Like I'm trying to say one thing, you want to, don't take it cheaply. Sit down for a minute and really say, chanting is for chanting. That should be your first mantra. Chanting is for chanting. Get the first mantra, you'll go to the second with perfection. Because this is the concentration of just sitting and chanting, and that's all. Why? Because Krishna is the supreme source of everything. And when you just directly address him, you do your best, he will do the rest. So you chant nicely. You just chant nicely. Nicely is distinctly pronounced attentively here. if you use articulation and pronunciation, that means you're pushing the mind a little more. When you try to attentively hear instead of just hear, you're pushing the mind a little more. And so in that position of forcing the mind, there becomes absorption. When that absorption is there, Krishna becomes so happy that, oh, you're really on the point. Let me enter into that point and magnify. But you have to, you just have to have the patience. You have all those qualities, my dear devotees. You have them all. And you're given to you to do this chanting. So wherever you're starting, you start with just the basics. Prabhupada didn't say, oh, you got to give up smoking marijuana. I was smoking marijuana and drinking beer. He didn't tell me that. I said, okay, I'll keep on chanting. And pretty soon, it went away. And I realized he tricked me. He was the Pied Piper, and he had the whole program, and all you had to do was follow him, and everything would fall away. I was raised in a society of intensity. I was raised a Catholic. I was supposed to be a priest. I was really spiritual. So I was different on the evolutionary cycle of some humans. I didn't know that back then, but I was very spiritual. And then that's what made me become a devotee, because I asked my mom, am I going to remember you when this is all over? Because I loved her. She was so kind. She always made sure I was to church. Everything about me, everything was based on her positive energy. And I said, Mom, am I going to know you when this is all over? They thought, oh my God, did he get some drugs that really messed him up? Because everyone was so attached to this is it, and that's it. No one knew. So what I didn't have a complete, no one had the answer. You've given the answer now. Now you just have to take your medicine. Take the medicine according to the doctor, but somehow keep chanting, keep chanting, keep chanting, keep chanting. That's all. Just keep chanting. It is the means and it's the end. At the end, you're going to be in the spiritual sky or here, and anyone and everyone will be chanting. And you'll be chanting. You'll get to the point where you want to chant all the time. And this is what you have to do. So chanting is not only just the Hare Krishna mantra. Chanting is talking about Krishna. Chanting is watching any videos of Srila Prabhupada or the devotees. Chanting is the sound vibration of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada gave us consciousness of Krishna, not consciousness of all this other nonsense. This Krishna consciousness is what we want to evolve to. That's the standard. So just chant. With a few simple things. That's it. Start somewhere. You're not going to get it overnight. Well, you can get it overnight. You can get it in a second if you're real sincere. But 8,400,000 species and millions of years have kept us from that point. So we have to get there. We have to get through all that. Cheto Darpana Marjanam and your intensity, that will do it. So, any more complex questions? You're trying to get me, I know. And that's okay, because if you teach me humility, I'll taste the holy name instantly. You're talking about. Simple though, right? Not that bad, is it? It's exciting. It's pretty neat. Huh? Someone tells you the truth. It makes you happy. It makes you smile. They're not even charging nothing. Boy, that's amazing. But I thank you all for allowing me to come. And thank you for allowing me to share. Because that's all we've got, is to share with each other the spirituality that we have. You can't take it cheap. We just have to try our best to give it to everyone. All for the pleasure of Guru and Gauranga. We have to, for his pleasure, we have to learn that. It's a learning process. But all for the pleasure of Guru and Gauranga. And who's Guru? Lord Nityananda. Gauranga, Chaitanya. And Krishna is the Guru everywhere. Once you start realizing that, You know, I mean, I was getting initiated by Bhakti Tirtha. I was Prabhupada's disciple since I found him. The day I read the Bhagavad Gita and saw this person on the back page, I said, "Who wrote this?" Because I had read different books. I said, "Who wrote this?" And the first thing I said is, "Oh my God, who?" Because all these Indian words and stuff, that wasn't the point. I was finding a guy that was looking for something, that needed something. And Prabhupada in his illuminations, it was so amazing. I said, "Oh, this is my father. This is my father." I immediately said, and Prabhupada, and I heard later on in a conversation, Prabhupada's walking, he said, "Prabhupada, what about those people that aren't initiated?" Prabhupada said, "What? They read one paragraph. No, they read one word. No, they read one letter. They're already initiated." So I knew I was initiated. I didn't get a fire sacrifice. I wanted to get initiated by Srila Prabhupada before he left, but I wasn't in that clique at the time. But I still loved him. And then I found out I was initiated. So anyone asked me that, yeah. But then I read the Goswamis. They said we have a process. And so I had to enter into the program of getting initiated to get more intimate with that qualified guru, the more intimacy. So I was in the hospital where Bhakti Tirtha had gotten his foot cut off that night. And it was right after the operation. I go into the hospital because my friends told me, because I wanted to get initiated. They said, "Yeah, you got to go with him." So I went there to the hospital, walked into the room, and he goes, "Oh, a Vaishnava has come. Maybe I can get a good night's sleep." And I said, "Don't start, Maharaj. Don't start." He and I had been close friends because of book distribution for years. And then finally I asked him to give me initiation. So I'm there in the middle of the night and we're hanging out, and he goes, "Steve." I go, "Yes." He goes, "You're snoring." I'm sorry. Because I'm supposed to be taking care of him. So I try to stay awake, and I'm sitting there, and I said, and I remember I said, "Maharaj, I got one problem." He goes, "What is it?" I said, "I've been chased to Srila Prabhupada all this time. And now I have to put you in my life. It's difficult." He said, "The spiritual master is one." I didn't know that. I was immature. I thought there was only one rock star and one member of this basketball team called Prabhupada. So, but different layers of truth come to you according to your surrender. And then you find out Krishna's the guru everywhere. He's in the Bhagavad Gita. He's on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He's within you as super soul. He's without you as the guru. Krishna's the guru everywhere. That's a heavy tattva too. Huh? Tattva means truth. And that tattva, I learned the word tattva from Gaura Govinda. Because when he says something that blows my mind, he goes, "That's tattva." I go, "Oh, I like that." So the guru's but one. And so you just have to take shelter properly and with sincerity and some strictness. And you'll get it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your kindness. Yeah, I can't teach you anything, but all I can do is, if you ask me to give you what's in my heart, I can give you some of the things I'm allowed to tell you in my heart. Other things, do not be upset because I cannot say. But I am thankful for you. Let me share my heart with you. Let's just keep on trying and pushing each other. This Hari Kirtan can put up with me. Anyone can. He's a great saint that tries to push with this, and it manifests here. So this is special. His energy.
And Prabhu is available here in Baltimore Temple. Now you all know him. You always meet him.
Oh, I know some of these people like Sai. And then your name? Sesan. I don't remember his name, but I remember his face. He was at the classes and he would chant, and he'd come to the kitchen. And I know so many more faces here. That monster right there with the glasses.
Yeah.
Mason. I said, put the books on the table. I do not think that would be necessary. I said, not some books, put all the books. He goes, what? I said, put them all. They got on there and they left. And he goes, he's just looking at me like, what the heck is this guy? What's that? And he couldn't wait to see me again because he was ready. Put all the books on there without telling him anything. And the books flew. Yeah. It's it's an amazing thing. If you just try to do your duty, something can happen. Each one of us will have something happen. A miracle happens all the time in Krishna consciousness. And what you do is you put it in a bottle. And then each time there's a bad day, open the bottle, remember that one good time. The skin was blown off my body one time in a restaurant. I had my own restaurant in Rehoboth Beach. I was feeding people. I shut it down on Sunday and feed the homeless. It was called Health at Rama. And I had this black beans in a kettle with the lid on top. It was a pressure kettle, but I wasn't using pressure, but it had enough weight. It sealed the lid. The thing blew up on my face. It blew my skin off, this skin, all this off. I just got married and I had to call my wife. She came down to the beach for the weekend. And I said, honey, I don't know where the hospital is and you're going to have to come here. I messed the kitchen up. You're going to have to clean it. And she goes, oh my God. And it blew the skin. It was so horrible that I went outside of my body. I felt myself go like this, something subtle. I went outside and came back into my body. And then I realized I was going to have a bad day. And so then I called the hospital. But before I did that, it was burning. The steam went into the pores of my skin so horribly that I was freaking out. And there was an aloe plant. And I know aloe, but I didn't know aloe. I grabbed that. It was a spear like this. I grabbed it. And I went like this. I was still burning, and it took it down to almost nothing. So by the time the ambulance got there, I was in state of shock. They put cold towels on me. They put me there. They put this cream on me. Within 8 hours, I looked like Frankenstein. I was totally burned. And 3 days I was there, and I said, Krishna, is this all you got? I'm still yours. I remember saying that. It was horrible because I had a restaurant. How in the hell is the cook going to come out and say, how was your meal? You look like a monster. My friends didn't even want to come into the hospital room. I had what do you call it? A plastic surgeon come. Mm-hmm. And he says, sorry, you're burnt too bad. I can't help you. So I said, oh, Krishna. So I go home. The kids that I had, they were cooking in my restaurant. They all become vegetarian. And, and I said, well, you guys make any money this week? Keep it because you're all saints, So I had to go to the doctors. No, I went home and I'm hanging out at home. The first morning I put you had to put this cream on every day. This mercury cream or something for bad burn. Yeah, so I put it on. And first you have to wipe it off and put new on. And I wiped it off and there was nothing there. It all went away. And I said, oh my God. I called my wife. I said, honey, it's gone. She goes, what are you talking? I said, it's all gone. She goes, no, you picked it. I said, I didn't. It's gone. So then I had to go see the doctor. And he was a little Indian guy. He didn't know nothing. He's an Indian doctor, that's all. So he freaked out because he saw my energy never changed in the hospital or when I went to see him. So when he took me to the office, he goes, he's having a heart attack. He's telling everybody, look at what happened when someone is so positive. He had no idea. So this is one of those things I put in the bottle. This is one of the miracles of Krishna, that he took care of me. He took care of me. And people take it for granted. Even my wife doesn't probably remember that. But I could take that out and say, this is by Krishna. And you'll all have these manifestations. Sometimes just a small little miracle of super soul, and I'm done talking. You take a small miracle of super soul, you'll say, oh, I was just thinking about you. That's super soul. You're better covered with him than you are Verizon. Huh? These are little miracles, and you get so fortified, then your whole life becomes a miracle. What? Your association with the Supreme nonstop. Isn't it? All right, I gotta stop. Nitai, go down.
Thank you very much for sharing your wisdom and realization with us. We're very grateful to you. All of us will did so much for you association on this. Thank you.
Yeah, you're a monster.
And also, he made a lasagna yesterday night. Spent like multiple hours in making that lasagna for one of us.
Oh, he's the troublemaker. He told me make it for 40. I can do it myself with my eyes closed. Then he changes to 55, then to 60. That means I need more people, but I can't call my reinforcements at the last minute. So I was there till 10:30. And I called, Now we're worn out. The prophet says if you crawl into bed doing devotion service, you did a good day's work. Well, I earned my pay that day.
Consolation, they cleaned it out.
Wow.
They loved it.
Yeah. Secret ingredient? The holy name.
With your permission, we'll hear from Adigadar Prabhu next.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for it.
Did I take up too much time?
No.
It was good, Prabhu. Thank you.
Kept us all absorbed. Thank you.
नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear Divyanam Prabhu and His Grace Sankirtan Yatna Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Divyanam Prabhu told us that the more we sweat in peace, the less we bleed in war. And he told us that in the peace times, we should go deep in our chanting of the holy name. And in times of trouble, we should go deeper in our chanting of the holy name and take more shelter of Krishna. And His Grace Sankirtan Yatna Prabhu told us that we should be very sincere when we chant the holy name. And Sankirtan Yatna Prabhu taught us how to do better Sankirtan. Because chanting of the holy names is of two types. We can chant it softly, japa, which is also yajna. Sankirtan Yajna Prabhu taught us, because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yajna nam japa yajnasmi. Of all the yajnas, I am the japa yajna. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, we are taught Yajna Sankirtana Prayar Yajantihi Sumedasa. When we chant loudly in Kirtan, that is also yajna. And when we chant softly in japa, that is also yajna. And we should do it with sincerity and with feelings. The topic given to me is dealing with stress in college and workplace. So for the next 15 minutes or so, I will tell you a story from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is from Srimad Bhagavatam and from Matsya Puran. And then you all tell me what lessons, what principles you learn in terms of dealing with stress. Because in Kali Yuga, all of us have a lot of stress. Especially when you are just starting your life, your career, most of you are young students. So let's see what lessons you can learn. This story is told by Shri Shukdev Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam. When there is a war between the demons and the demigods, Devasu Sangram, the demons, being empowered by Lord Krishna, were able to kill many demons. But the demigods have their guru, Shri Brihaspati, and the demons likewise have their guru, Shri Shukracharya. Now, Shukracharya knew a specific mantra called Mrita Sanjeevani mantra, by chanting which you can bring a dead person back to life. You can revive the dead body of that person, bring them back to life. You see, in the olden days, things were done by mantra, by sacred sound vibrations. And now those things are done or attempted to be done by yantra. Yantra means machines. Draupadi Devi could take a plate and just chant a mantra and lasagna for 65 devotees would be prepared. But now we need yantras, we need machines and ovens and so many things for that.
And so.
And Sankirtan Prabhu and the secret ingredient, the holy name. Thank you for sharing that, Prabhu. But in the previous days, people would, Vibhishan chanted a mantra and he crossed the ocean and came to meet Lord Ramachandra from Lanka. Things were done by mantra. Now the potency, the knowledge of the mantra and the purity to chant those mantras is lost. So now we have to depend on yantra, machines. So we have doctors and hospitals and plastic surgeons and orthopedic surgeons and so many things now. In those days, it was mantra. So Shukracharya knew the Mrita Sanjeevani mantra by which he could bring a dead person back to life. Indra and the demigods killed many demons. All of them were brought back to life that same evening by the guru of the demon, Shukracharya, by chanting that mantra. So it was a great defeat for the demigods. Now, very important principle. Shukracharya, the guru of the demons, knew the Mrita Sanjeevani mantra. Brihaspati, the guru of the devatas, the demigods, did not know the Mrita Sanjeevani mantra. But the demigods did not lose faith in their guru. And this is a very important principle. We should not think that, oh, my guru does not. Actually, Sankirtan Yajna Prabhu invoked the names of two of the greatest inspirations I have in my spiritual life after Srila Prabhupada, among the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. His Holiness Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj and His Holiness Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj. My heart is melted when you mentioned your interactions with them. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj was playing with Gopal Ju, his family deity at the age of 5, running in the fields, playing tag. He was such a pure devotee from his birth. Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj. Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj never saw his father. His mother was a very faithful Christian lady, but she was a single mother. The father left after she got pregnant. He grew up in the ghettos of Cleveland, Ohio. Such a contrast. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj comes in the family of pure devotees, disciples of Srila Narottam Das Thakur, singing that same traditional kirtan taught by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. And here is John Favors, born in the ghettos of Cleveland, as Sankirtan Yajna Prabhu was telling, in those families who are less than Shudras. Yet both of them pure devotees. Both of them Guru. We should never think that my Guru is less because my Guru cannot speak Sanskrit, or my Guru is less because my Guru did not take birth in India, or my Guru is less because he doesn't know how to sing. We should never have Laghu Bhavna in one's Guru. Guru means big, Guru means heavy. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita teaches us Kiba Vipra Kiba Nyasi Shudra Kene Noy Jai Krishna Tattva Vetta Say Guru. Guru is not one who is Indian. Guru is not one who knows Sanskrit. Guru is not one who can sing in beautiful ragas or any other qualification. Guru is one who knows and loves Krishna and can teach you the same. The demigods did not lose faith in their Guru because it did not know Mrit Sanjeevani Vidya. They never told Brihaspati, why don't you learn Mrit Sanjeevani mantra? No. But they approached Brihaspati and asked for a solution very humbly. What is the solution? We kill the demons and their Guru Shukracharya brings them back to life. What is the way out? Guru will tell if we approach. Brihaspati Maharaj told that my eldest son, his name is Kach. Now here the story is from Matsya Purana. My eldest son is Kach. Let him try to learn the Mrit Sanjeevani mantra from Shukracharya. Hare Krishna. So the demigods, they requested the eldest son of Brihaspati, Kach,
to go in the enemy camp to the abode of the demons and approach the guru of the demons, Shukracharya, and request him if he would teach the Mrit Sanjeevani mantra to him so he can come back to the demigod camp and use that mantra to bring the dead demigods back to life. Kutch knew this was a very, very difficult task to go and live among the demons, to learn the mantra that is their masterstroke. Very difficult. But because all the demigods requested him, Kutch, out of selflessness, agreed. You think this is a stressful situation? We're talking about stress, dealing with stress in workplace and in our professional life. This was a very stressful situation to go and live with the demons. Kutch went straight to Shukracharya, offered his obeisances and said, Shukracharya, I am the eldest son of Brihaspati and I accept you as my spiritual master. I take a vow for 1,000 years. I will live with you and I will serve you. I will do whatever you say. I just want to learn everything from you. Everything means that mantra that even my father doesn't know. And it is the nature of a guru that they don't turn away anybody. Srila Prabhupada had a disciple by the name Achyutananda, not Sripad Achyutananda Prabhu, who created our Vaishnava songbook and went to India and preached. Another Achyutananda. Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj tells this in Prabhupada Memories. And he was stealing things from the temple, even though he was initiated. And he was doing a lot of other things. And finally, police was called and he was arrested when Srila Prabhupada was in the Mayapur temple. He came and fell at Srila Prabhupada's feet. Prabhupada, forgive me if I am sorry. Police have come to take me. He held his ears. I am sorry, I will never do it again. Prabhupada told the police, you can go. It's okay. He is my child. He made a mistake. I forgive him. Let him be here. And then Srila Prabhupada told Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, keep an eye on him. 3 days later, after Mangal Aarti, he stole Radha Madhav's plate and some other paraphernalia and he was running from the back door. And the devotees went and jumped on him and caught him. And Prabhupada said, now again call the police. Again he came and begged forgiveness. Prabhupada said, no, not now. Now go to jail. Your punishment, your purification is to go to jail. And he was sent to jail. But generally, when you first time approach the Guru for protection, or you accept Guru's shelter, the Guru doesn't reject. So Shukracharya knew he has taken such a risk, he has come to me in the demon camp. If I let him go, on the way, the demons will kill him. He will never be able to go back to Brihaspati. So Shukracharya said, I accept you as my disciple. But listen, you are the son of Brihaspati. You are prime target in the demon camp. You better stay with me in my house and don't leave my house until I tell you to for some specific work and then come back. For the next 1,000 years, you have to stay with me inside my house. And you serve me, and when I'm pleased, I will teach you everything in due course of time. Yes, Gurudev. He took water, did achaman, and took the vow that for 1,000 years, I will maintain strict celibacy, I will be a brahmachari, and I will serve you, my dear Gurudev. Whatever you say, I will be at your beck and call. I will serve you. Shukracharya said, all right, in my house, my daughter lives. Radhesham Prabhu showed us the video of the 2 sons of Shukracharya. Who were there? Who were the Shanda and Amarka? Correct? Teachers of Prahlad Maharaj. Shukracharya also had a daughter. Her name was Devyani. So he said, my young girl, daughter Devyani, she's same age as you. She's also in the house. So you assist Devyani in whatever she's doing. So Shukracharya, his daughter Devyani, and the servant is Kutch. He started living there and started doing all the cleaning, washing pots, cutting vegetables, any service that was required in the house, Kutch was doing. Now Shukracharya had some cows and they had to be taken for grazing every day. So one day Devyani told him, why don't you take the cows for grazing? So Kutch took the cows and the rumor was already there that some demigod has come and is living with our Gurudev to learn the Mrit Sanjeevani mantra. And we have to find him and kill him. And they were looking, but they could not find him because he never left the house. Now, first time to graze the cows, Kutch left. The demons attacked him, killed him, chopped him. And they had these ferocious dogs. They fed the flesh to the dogs. In the evening, the cows came back. Kutch was not there. Devyani got panicky. She started panicking. Where is Kutch? Where is Kutch? I had sent him on service. He has not returned. She went to her father, that, dear father Shukracharya, where is Kach? The cows came back. Kach did not come back. Shukracharya sat in the lotus posture, went into a meditative trance, and immediately detected, oh, he will not come back, my dear daughter. He will not come back. The demons found him. They killed him, and they have fed his flesh to the dogs. Devani started crying. She said, no, you have to do something. You have to bring him back. He was your disciple. He was engaged in your service. How can you let him be killed by your own disciples? The demons are your disciples. Do something and bring him back. If you don't bring him back, I will give up eating and drinking. Shukracharya was a very powerful Brahman. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, among the teachers, I am Shukracharya. So he's very powerful. And he had one weakness. He was very attached to his daughter Devyani. He said, all right, dear daughter, stop crying. Don't worry. I will chant the Mrit Sanjeevani mantra. And look what happens. Shukracharya sipped water and he spoke the Mrit Sanjeevani mantra and spoke the name Kach. And immediately the different bodily parts of Kach that had been chopped and eaten by the dogs, they came together, and the dogs died because they had all these pieces of flesh jumping out of the stomach. So all the demons' dogs died, and Kach, his body was formed again. He just walked back into the house. And Devyani asked him, Kach, what had happened? He said, well, I had gone to graze the cows. The demons accosted me. They asked me, who am I? And as a Brahmana, as a Brahmachari, as a student of Shukracharya Maharaj, I cannot lie. I told them I am the eldest son of Brihaspati and I have come here to learn everything from Shukracharya. They killed me and they fed me to the dogs. How do you remember being chopped and fed to the dogs? He says, now listen carefully. In Matsya Puran, Kach replies, because I am Akhanda Brahmachari, because I am strictly celibate, my memory is intact. My memory is very strong. And I am remembering because I am a pure Brahmachari. I am completely celibate. So there is a lot of power in sense control. He came back to life and he started serving again, as usual. One day, Devyani, for many days, she never sent him out. And she never sent him out with the cows again. But one day, she needed some help to get some tulsi manjaris and some flowers from the garden itself. So she told Kach, quickly go out in the courtyard and get some flowers and tulsi leaves for puja. Kach went out and the demons were right hiding there behind the trees. They immediately did the needful, as Prabhupada said. You have to do the needful. They did the needful. And Kach never came back. After a few minutes, Devani started looking. Kach has disappeared. Father, find out what happened to Kach. Again, he went into meditation. And just like Sanjay could see what is happening in the Kurukshetra war, Shukracharya is so powerful. He went into meditative trance. He said, oh, this time nothing can be done. What happened, father? The demons caught him, they killed him, and they burnt him to ashes. And they have thrown the ashes deep in the ocean. Nothing can be done. Sorry. Now you forget about Kach. I will find you another servant, don't worry. Devan says, no. Kach was no ordinary servant. He is the son of Brihaspati. He cannot die like that. And he was engaged in your service. He was assisting you in your deity worship. How can you let him die? Please bring him back to life. All right. Stop crying. Again, Shukracharya chants that Mrit Sanjeevani mantra. And even from the ashes, the material elements are reversed and a completely well-formed body of Kach is reformed. And he comes, knocks on the door, enters the house with tulsi leaves, tulsi manjaris, and flowers. And tells his Gurudev, sorry, I got a bit delayed. Here is the paraphernalia for that was the power of the Mrit Sanjeevani mantra. Then Devani decided, now I will never send him out of the house. But at least to bathe and to answer nature's call, you have to go out. And the demons were all there. They knew what Shukracharya was doing. And they were so envious. This is the nature of envy, my dear friends. This is what happens in the workplace. This is what happens in the corporate world. Isn't it? You try to be successful and people will try to pull you down. So note down all the lessons you're learning, because in the end, you have to tell me what lessons you learn. So Kach goes out to answer nature's call. And again, he is abducted by the demons. And he never comes back. And Devyani starts panicking. It's morning time. Kach is supposed to be engaged in service. He hasn't come back. What happened, Father? Please find out. Now, Kach used to go, answer nature's call, take his bath, and come back. But in the meantime, Devyani would make a fruit smoothie. It is specifically said grape smoothie, grape juice for her father. The truth I'm telling you, for the father, Shukracharya. And when Kach would come back, then he would assist his guru. So Kach went for his morning duties. Devyani, after some time, made the grape juice, fed the father, Shukracharya, and then Kach has still not come back. So Devyani goes to Shukracharya and says, find out what happened. Shukracharya goes into meditative trance and he says, oh, my dear daughter, this time really nothing can be done. This time it's just too bad. What happened, father? What happened? So when Kach went outside to answer nature's call, he was captured by the demons. They killed him. They burnt his body to ashes. And somehow or the other, they sneaked into your kitchen. And they mixed the ashes into the grape juice that I just drank. Kach is in my bowels right now. If I chant the Mrit Sanjini mantra, I will die. So my dear daughter, please forget about Kach. Devyani says, no. You are very intelligent. You have to find a way where I am happy and you also don't die. And Kach also doesn't die. Now Shukracharya was so brilliant. He said, Kach, do you hear me? And from the bowels, sound, yes, Gurudev. Listen, I will speak the Mrit Sanjeevani mantra. Listen carefully through your right ear. By hearing this mantra, you will come alive. But I will die. And when you come out, you chant the mantra and bring me alive. Bring me back to life. Haribol! So Shukracharya chants the mantra for Kach. Kach comes alive, but he breaks open the belly of burst abdomen. No wound care can take care of it. He had a burst abdomen. Shukracharya dropped dead, and Kach was alive. Immediately, Kach sat down, chanted the Mrit Sanjeevani mantra for Shukracharya. And Shukracharya also came back to life. Everything was back to normal. Kach very frankly told Shukracharya, Gurudev, there is nothing more I need to learn from you. Everything else, there is nothing more I need to learn from you. Everything else I had already learned from Brihaspati. This was the mantra that I was missing, and you taught it today. So my vidya is sampurna. My education is complete, but I will fulfill my vow. I will stay with you for 1,000 years, and I will serve you. And then he stayed there and served his Gurudev for the completion of the duration of 1,000 years. And after that, one morning he came, offered obeisances to Shukracharya, said, Gurudev, if you give me permission, I will go back to my home where the demigods live, and I will go back home. I have some services there. If you give me permission. But in the future, if you ever need my assistance, my help, I am always there. Chakshudana Dilojai, Janme Janme Prabhu say, I am always your servant. You can call me anytime. Shukracharya gave him blessings. He said, you have pleased me with your service. I am very happy with you. All success to you. Go. And Kach was leaving. Happy story? Happy ending?
Yeah.
No, material life, there can never be happy ending. This is all material vidya. As Kach was leaving, Devyani called out from behind, Kach! 1,000 years you lived with me in the same house. How can you just walk out on me? How can you just leave me? Don't you know how much I love you? I love you. She proposed to Kach. She said, marry me and take me with you. I will serve you just the way you served me for 1,000 years. For the rest of my life, I want to serve you. I have always seen you as my wonderful, handsome husband. I am the daughter of a great Brahmana. You are the son of a great Brahman. It is divine arrangement that we should get married. Immediately accept my hand and marry me. Kach bowed down to her and said, you are the daughter of my Gurudev. I can never think of such a thing. You came from the body of my Gurudev. You are non-different from my Gurudev. I served you as your servant. I can never accept you as my wife. I can never accept service from you. It is my dharma to serve you. not to accept service from you. You said this once, never again speak these words. Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. Devyani said, nothing doing. You owe your life to me. 3 times you were dead. I was the one who fought with my father, insisted, threatened to give up my own life, and I saved your life. Your life belongs to me. You owe some debt of gratitude to me. Otherwise, you would not be alive. You better marry me. See, first, I love you. Then you better marry me. Kach says, my dear Devyani Mata, if you don't want me to accept you as a mother, then let me accept you as a sister. Because we are Sahodar. You came from because the child comes from the body of the husband into the body of the mother and then takes birth. And he said, I have also stayed in the belly of Shukracharya. You came from the belly of Shukracharya. I came from the belly of Shukracharya. So we are Sahodar. We are brother and sister. So I cannot accept you as my wife. No, 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 no. Devani said, you rascal. Look at the nature of material love and material infatuation. First, I love you. Then you better marry me. And then curse. You rascal. You ungrateful person. I curse you. You won't marry me, no? I curse you that the Mrit Sanjeevani mantra that you learned from my father, this very moment it will escape your memory. And how did that mantra start? I forgot. Kach forgot the Mrit Sanjeevani mantra. 1,000 years of service. So much risk. Everything gone down the drain. This is the nature of material education. I personally know one physician. She was my attending at Emory. Got into a road traffic accident. Shards of glass went into both her eyes. She became completely blind, unfortunately, in both the eyes. Could not practice medicine. She's on long-term disability. Could not practice one day of. You cannot practice medicine without eyes. Cannot see your patient, cannot examine them. This is the nature of material assets. Yesterday we read, Kamala Dalajala, Jivana Talamala. Our life is very fickle, very, very unpredictable. Could our Sankirtan and the Prabhu predict what is cooking in that kettle, the black beans, and suddenly things can happen in this world. He worked so hard, and like this, with one curse, all the Mrit Sanjeevani Vidya is gone. And then Kach got angry and frustrated. And he said, oh sinful lady, I curse you that you will never be able to marry a Brahmana. That's why she married Yayati Maharaj. It comes in Bhagavatam, it continues. In Bhagavatam, Devyani tells Yayati that don't feel sorry that this is a Prativyam marriage. It's not Anulom, it's Prativyam. Because I was cursed, I will never be able to marry a Brahmana. And this is the backstory from Matsya Puran. How she was cursed by Kach. That you will never get a Brahmana as your husband. And then Kach left. And Kach came back. After 1,000 years, he came back to Brihaspati and all the demigods, and they are waiting with bated breath. Did you learn? Did you get the mantra? Yes and no. I got it. I got it and I lost it. What to do? Oh, now all the demigods started crying. 1,000 years we were waiting. We were praying that Kach gets the Vidya. He got the Vidya. Our prayers were answered. But then it was lost by the curse of Devyani. Now they did not know what to do. Then they go to Lord Brahma and say, Pitamaha, what should we do? We are completely helpless. The demigods are completely defeated by the demons. He said, now we must approach the Supreme Personality of God.
Yeah.
When we are in times of stress, when we feel defeated, when we are faced with reversals and challenges and difficulties in life, we must take shelter of Krishna. Yesterday we were reading Abhaya Charana Aravindare. When we approach the lotus feet of Krishna, he will give us all freedom from fear. So all the demigods, they went to Shvetadvip, Shir Sagar, and they prayed to Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu said, don't worry. You have to first make a truce with the demons. You churn the ocean of milk, and then you will get something that is better than Mrit Sanjeevani mantra. I will personally come and I will give you Amrit. By drinking that Amrit, you will not have to worry about death. You will all become Chirayu. you'll become Amar and you can defeat the demons. So don't worry. And then they get Mandarachal, the Mandar mountain of gold as a churning rod, but it is so heavy they all get crushed. Demons and demigods both. Then Krishna comes on Garud, saves their life, restores them. Now please listen carefully. There's a lesson in every step. We are almost done. Mountain is picked up, keeps it very easily on the wing of Garud, places it in the ocean. Vasuki is brought as a churning rope, and boop, the ocean slips and sinks. Churning rod is gone. How do we churn the ocean of milk? How will we get the Amrit? Again, Lord Krishna comes as Kurmadev. And he's enjoying the scratching sensation on his back. Mandarachal is on his back. And he's enjoying. Vasuki is the snake. And the demigods are told that you take the mouth end. Demons, you take the tail end. And the Supreme Lord as Ajit, he's also there assisting him. No. The demons get angry. Nothing doing. Do you think we are less than the demigods? How dare you give us the tail end? We want the front end. We want the head of the snake, not the tail. Oh, okay, no problem. Lord Ajit says that until our purpose is of no fighting, and whatever comes out of the ocean before the nectar, don't get attracted to it. You just follow my instructions. So they say, okay, no problem. We'll go to the tail end. They go to the tail end. The demons take the head of Vasuki, and then the churning begins. Lord Krishna, in the form of Ajit, is there on the side of the demigods to help them churn. As mode of passion, he is there in the demons, and as mode of ignorance, Nidra, sleep, he is in Vasuki. And from the top, he takes the form. Lord Ajit is holding the Mandarachal, balancing it. From underneath, he is Kurmadev, the transcendental tortoise. And the churning begins, and then first the poison comes. Lord Shiva saves the world by accepting it. In his mouth, there is the name of Ram. In his heart, there is the name of Ram. In between, the poison stays, and it is neutralized. He becomes Nilkantha, ever glorified. Churning begins. Lord Vishnu gets Lakshmi Devi. So many things come out. Bali Maharaj gets a horse, and so many things happen. The moon comes, and finally, the Supreme Lord himself comes as Lord Dhanvantari and brings the nectar and distributes it to the demigods. But before that, it is taken away, snatched away. Then again, Lord Krishna comes as Mohini Murti to bewilder the demons, but the demigods are not bewildered, even though they are saying the same attractive form of Mohini Murti. They are not bewildered because they have Rajvidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitramidam. They know the transcendental knowledge that this is our Lord Vishnu only. So they are not attracted like that. But the demons, they are drinking the nectar of the beauty of Mohini Murti. And the demigods, they drink the nectar of Amrit, brought by Lord Dhanvantari. And they become powerful and they defeat the demons. Hari Bol. Now, please tell me, you raise your hand and one person tells one lesson in terms of dealing with stress, reversals, failures in our professional life and our work life and education life, college and job place. You tell me what practical lessons we learn from this story from Srimad Bhagavatam. One person will tell only one, and if one devotee has already spoken a lesson, don't repeat it. Time starts now. Hare Krishna. Yes, Sam Prabhu.
Thank you for sharing that wonderful story. It was very enlivening. And I think my biggest takeaway from the story is that when all else seems to be failing around us in our material situations, like we can have complete, or at least some degree of dependence upon the Lord. The more dependence we have upon the Lord, the more successful we will be. Success is always going to be in the situation, even if we can't foresee that our success is coming. So all we have to do is depend on the Lord.
Yes. Thank you, Sam Prabhu. So when we are faced with difficulty, we should take shelter of Krishna. Mamekam Sharanam. Thank you. Yes. Go ahead.
One inspiration that I took was when Hutch knew that if he went outside, felt like it happened before. If he went outside, then the demons would attack. But through the faith of his guru, he even still went outside to serve.
Very nice. So he had faith. Thank you, Gaurav. That's a very nice point. He had faith in his guru, and even at personal risk, he went. Very good. So now let's follow what Gaurav did. So we, Sam, then Gaurav. So let's try to churn lessons as the story progressed. So let's start with Kutch and Devyani and Chukracharya, and then we'll go to the Sagar Manthan, the churning of the ocean. What lessons we get along the way. So let's go sequentially. Next. Yes, Prabhu. Very nice. If one door closes, look for other avenues. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Yes, Nick Prabhu.
Once you when to walk away, that after the 1,000 years and after trying so hard and still not getting it, he could have tried again to go back, but he knew that it was time to go home. So he knew to walk away.
Right. So one should know when to walk away, and we should never forget our real duty. We should never get distracted. Very nice. Thank you. Next lesson. Yes.
Promise, like he learned the mantra. He had the opportunity that he would have got. But as he promised to his guru, like I will stay with you.
He stayed true to his words. Yeah. So similarly, later on, we also take, when we take shelter, when we take initiation, we also take vows. And we have to be true to our vows. I will chant 16 rounds every day. I will follow the 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. I will serve in Srila Prabhupada's mission in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant. Very nice. So a gentleman and a gentle lady will always remember their promise. Very nice. Kutch teaches us that principle. Yes. Loudly.
When Kutch came back, the demigods were waiting for him for 1,000 years, and they could have also gotten frustrated and cursed Devyani like even more times, but they didn't do that. And instead, they just peacefully went to Lord Brahma.
Yes.
So-
So very important lesson. We should not we should not be too vengeful. It is better to seek the solution than to just be vengeful and bitter. Very nice point. They went to the solution. Ultimate solution is Krishna. What happens next? What do we learn about Kutch forgetting the Mrit Sanjeevani mantra after so much effort and endeavor? He had Utsaha, Nishaya, Dhairya. Yes, what do you learn about material assets?
Yeah, so basically, like it is related to stress. So when he goes for 1,000 years and he doesn't get anything out of it, still he manages to go back and figure out a solution. Like that is very stressful, right? A whole team is waiting for you, and you go back
You cannot
empty
deliver.
hands.
Yeah.
So that is a lesson that like even then he went back and figured out a solution, and then they went to the Lord and he figured out a solution for them.
Yes. So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that Kaunteya Pratijanihi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. This story actually gives us a lot of positivity because Kutch with the demigods went and took shelter of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. So he got bhakti. Devyani later on married Maharaj Yayati, and both of them got distracted for a long time. But then both of them, they became pure devotees and they attained the spiritual world. So by doing bhajan, by doing devotional service, like yesterday we sang in the bhajan, Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Vandana, Pada, Sevanam, Dasya, by practicing bhakti, chanting, hearing, worshipping Krishna, we will never be losers. In the end, we will always have the last laugh. Reversals may come, ups and downs may come, but we will have the last laugh. Hari Bol. Yes, yes.
Attachment is the root cause of all the problems.
Attachment is the root cause of all problems. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so in the story, so Devyani was attached to
Kutch.
Kutch. So she was attached to Kutch. In the end, she cursed Kutch with the that he will forget the Sanjeevani Vidya.
Yes.
But Kutch, since he was not attached to the mantra which he got, he was not in problem. Like even after doing so many years of service to Shukracharya, I didn't get anything because he was not attached to the results, whichever. Even after doing this much of training and everything, he was happy. But Devyani, since he was attached to Kutch, since he left, she was distressed and all the problems she faced a lot of problems.
So Devyani had attachment for Kutch on a material plane, on a bodily plane. So she was frustrated, and that's what got her to curse Kutch. And she cursed him what would really pinch him. That Mrit Sanjeevani, you will forget. But see, Kutch also was frustrated, And that is why he cursed her.
Back.
That you are cursing a Brahman like me, you'll never get a Brahman as your husband. That's a big curse because a Brahman, he can only marry a Brahman. A Kshatriyani can marry a Brahman, but a Brahmani can only marry another Brahman. So essentially, he gave a curse that either you have a wrong marriage, Prativya marriage, or you remain unmarried. That's what it meant. So he was frustrated, but he found peace. Kach found peace when with the other demigods, he went and took shelter of Lord Vishnu. That's when both were frustrated. But one important thing we learn here, which was missed, is that material assets are. Hey, Shamala Gopika.
So Devyani was actually cursing, and first initially she started with love. So this material world, everyone is selfish.
Yes.
They want their future, and if we trust and put our trust in these temporary relationship, we will not get the real happiness.
Yes.
And on the Lord, who is a Subhadam Sarvabhatam, so then we will get a redemption.
Yes. It is not love at first sight, it is lust at first sight. There is no love in this material world because in this world we try to develop relationships, especially boy and girl, to satisfy our senses. But that is not love. Krishnendriya Priti Vancha, Dhare Prem Nam. Atmendriya Priti Ichha, Tarabale Kam. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that when we want to give pleasure to the senses of Nitai Gaur Sundar, we want to offer them flowers, we want to offer them Aarti in the morning, we want to sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra for their pleasure, we want to sit and hear Hari Katha in front of them for their pleasure, we want to cook for them and offer them bhoga for their pleasure, like Prabhuji was mentioning, for the pleasure of Guru and Gauranga. When we do that, that is prem. That is love. And when we do it for the satisfaction of our own senses, that is sinful. That is lust. That is lust. So that is one thing. And also see the fickle nature of material assets, how quickly material assets are lost. Now, I am a medical doctor from Emory University. In my next life, when I'm in pre-K, can I tell that, hey, I am a MD from past life? Where can I practice? Where can I get a job? No, it's gone. This life ends, this body drops dead. All the material assets are gone. But the spiritual assets, Neha Bikramanash, yesterday we discussed. The spiritual assets are never lost. They are permanent, undeletable, undepletable file. Spiritual assets. Like that. Okay? Yes. Loudly.
Healthy ways to get paid.
We should find healthy ways to deal with our anger than cursing each other.
Yeah.
In Daksha and Lord Shiva's pastime also we see how cursing doesn't serve any purpose. And we lose our spiritual power by thinking ill about others. Yes, Prabhu.
In this material world, we can struggle for 1,000 years, sweat and bleed, yet there's no guarantee of you reaching your goals in this material world.
Yes, very nice. And in spiritual life, there is guarantee. Anybody knows the verse where Krishna says there is guarantee? Guarantee that if you invest in me, guarantee you will always be successful. Yes. Any other verse from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna guarantees? There is no doubt about this. Of this, there is no doubt. Sarvadharman, yes, but of this there is no doubt. Prabhupada translation. Of this there is no doubt.
Astyatra samshaya.
Manmana bhava maam eva shashi satyam te prati. Yes, that is true. What else? Of this there is no doubt. Kaunteya pratijani name bhakta pranasheti. Yes, Krishna gives promises many times. But antakale maam eva smaran mukta kale.
Yati nastyatra samshaya.
Of this there is no doubt you will get me. Also that verse where Mai arpita mano buddhir maam eva shasi asamshaya. So Krishna gives us a guarantee that if you do bhakti, you will be successful. There will be no loss. Yes.
I told Vaishya Sheikh, I said, I want to write a book. He said, what do you want to write?
I said, I want to write a book about the Bhagavad Gita. He said, what is it? I said, it's called the Book of Promises.
Ah.
And in the book, I have a tab for each P, each promise. It's all books of promises. And if one just aligns himself, I haven't written the book because then I was afraid that I might think I was too somebody. So I didn't do it. But now it manifests. This is the book of promises. Not only one, well, what's the one? Beyond a doubt. Okay, you pinched it a little bit. But in reality, it's the book of promises. Over and over again, he gives you a shot. Isn't it? Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yes, beta. Go ahead. Loudly. Very nice. Thinking out of box. When Kach was in the belly of Shukracharya, he thought of a way how to. Can I share something? When I was meditating on this story, a thought came. Think about this. The demigods sent Kach to learn the Amrit Sanjeevani mantra. Demons came to know of that plan, and demons were trying everything they could to get rid of Kach, to destroy Kach, to kill Kach. Correct? But every time they would kill Kach, Shukracharya would bring him back to life. So now they devised a method that we will kill him and feed him to Shukracharya unknowingly. Unbeknownst to him, he will consume Kach. Then there is no way of Shukracharya because he's the only one who knows the Amrit Sanjeevani mantra. But because of that act of the demons, Kach, who otherwise had no guarantee would receive the Amrit Sanjeevani mantra from Shukracharya, got instantly the Amrit Sanjeevani mantra. What does this mean? Sometimes problems and reversals of life may actually open the door for higher mercy. You see, he didn't have to wait 1000 years. Kach got the Amrit Sanjeevani mantra immediately that day when he was fed to Shukracharya, which was done by the demons to make sure that he doesn't get the mantra. So you never know. Problem in life may actually be a blessing. Can you give me some example from Shastra where a big problem became a big blessing? Yes. Vamshivadan Goswami. Hare Krishna, Arishtasur. Such a horrible demon. He was giving miscarriages to the cows and ladies. And that became such a problem, there's a lecture by my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Worst to worthy. In YouTube, you can type it. Making the worst into worthy. Something that was worst. The Arishtasur. There is no other demon mentioned in Bhagavatam who is giving miscarriages to the Brajvasis. Arishtasur. But he became the cause of formation of Sri Radhakund and Shanti. Very nice example. Yes, Prabhu. Parikshit Maharaj.
So he was given the problem that he will die in 7
Haribo! Jai Ho! Parikshit Maharaj was cursed, but because of that curse, he got his guru, Sri Shukdev Goswami, who is a disciple of Sri Vyasdev, who is a disciple of Narad Muni. Wonderful, wonderful. Any other lesson? Yes, Radha. Loudly. How you speak to me at home? Like that. Yeah.
Praying to the Supreme Lord to get his kingdom back. But when he was doing his meditation, when he got darshan of Lord Vishnu, he didn't want.
Yeah. Kashan Vijantam Api Divya Ratnam. He didn't want. Yeah. Dhruv Maharaj, he was, imagine being chastised by your stepmother when you're only 5 years old for simply wanting to sit on the loving lap of your father. And the father not saying anything, looking away, ignoring you. Such a trauma for a 5-year-old boy. Correct? But that became the cause of him getting Lord Vishnu. Yes, beta.
When KK sent Lord Rama away to the exile.
Loudly, what?
When KK sent Lord Rama away in the
Forest.
So how was that a blessing?
I mean, it wasn't because when Ravana, like, it wasn't.
It was a blessing for the demigods.
Yeah.
Because all the demons got killed.
Yeah.
Very nice. Haribol. And Lord Ram's glory increased. Imagine if Ram had stayed comfortably and retired in Ayodhya. We would never know his glory. Yeah? Very nice. Yes, Mataji. Oh, now such nectar is coming out. Brahma Vimohan Leela. Can you explain how it was a blessing?
Like Brahma took all the power.
Yeah. Yes. See, all the ladies of all the mothers of Vraj used to love Krishna more than their own children. And I was just the day before yesterday, before coming here, I was listening to a lecture by my Guru Maharaj, Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He was saying that this is very beautiful. The lecture is called Receive Happiness to Give Happiness on YouTube. So Maharaj says that the Vraj Gopis, the elder mothers, they were glorifying the good fortune of Yashoda and Nanda. That they are so fortunate they get to serve Krishna. We love our children, but millions of times more than our children, we love Krishna. If only, we are not Nanda Yashoda, but if only we could have Krishna for one day as our child and we could give all the love we have in our hearts to Krishna, it would be so nice. But they were not envious, Maharaj says. They were not envious of Yashoda and Nanda. If only. Because Nanda Yashoda are so glorious, but like that. Like we may say that when Prabhuji came, Shri Gopal Pran Prabhu came to Atlanta, we were thinking, oh, if only one day we could cook for Adesham or now Vaishnav Charan Prabhu, if one day we could have that good. So if only, they're not envious of your Nanda Yashoda. Maharaj says if they were envious, then Brahma Vimohan Leela would not have happened. If they were envious of Yashoda and Nanda, Brahma Vimohan Leela would not. What happened when the friends and calves were stolen? Krishna expanded himself into all the boys of Vraj and all the calves of Vraj. And he was so exact that Maharaj said even the mannerisms, the speech, Maharaj said even the crease on the dhoti was exactly same like those boys. What they like to eat, everything. And not one day, one full year. Imagine all the elderly Vraj Gopis, the mothers, they got to have Krishna as their son. Day and night. And the cows also thought that Mother Yashoda feeds Krishna her milk with so much love. If only. Well, it's not possible. But if only. And Krishna became the calves and drank the milk. So that Brahma Vimohan Leela, where Brahmaji came and bewildered everybody, actually became a cause of such blessing and happiness. Haribol.
This year is very good for the marriage. So
All the marriages also happened. Yes, very nice. Yes, Mataji? Mother Shabri, yes. Matanga Rishi told everybody come here. He called the Ishta Goshti of all the disciples. He said, Lord Narayan is very pleased with us. Today we are going to Vaikuntha. Everybody, chalo, I am going to take. Imagine Gurudev calling disciples meet and says, today we are going to Golok Vrindavan. Oh, but Shabri, you are the only one who is not qualified. You stay back. Such a sorrowful thing for her to alone stay back, but it was the greatest blessing because she personally got to serve Ram and Lakshmi. Okay, now curse into blessing enough because we have to one last thing because we have to continue with the story lessons. Look, Govardhan Leela. Surapati Krita Dirgha Drohato Koshta Raksham. When Surapati he did so much droha against the Brajvasis, it became because daytime Sakhas get, at night time the Gopis get, and here for 7 days, 7 nights, all the 5 rasas under Govardhan. Amazing. Very nice point. You will tell the last one. Yes.
Radharani. So Radharani got cursed that she could not marry to Krishna because of her love to Krishna. In this world, they both are getting like we are all able to do prayers for both of them together.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, thank you. Radha and Krishna's love is unparalleled, the supreme. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes.
It's actually a reflection on the story that you have.
Yeah. Good. We want to come back to the story and talk about dealing with stress and competition.
One way that I look at it is that both the parties, the Devatas and the Danavas, none of them have placed their personal interests or selfishness. So in the case of Kutch, he was never worried about himself. He only thought about helping his fellow people,
yeah,
his fellow mates, and he was ready to go to Shukracharya and be with him. And Shukracharya was also broad. He was also very broad-minded, and he did not. As a guru, he had his own values, and he taught him.
Very nice. See, both have parallels. Can you give me one parallel Kutch is willing to sacrifice his life to enter the demon camp and learn. Any other parallel from Bhagavatam where they wanted to, willing to give up their own life for the welfare of others? Yes? He did Atma Samarpan. Yes, that's a good point. I was thinking of Dadichi. Yeah, Dadichi. He gave. And then the other point you said was what? He taught the knowledge despite knowing that this is the enemy's son. Example is in Mahabharata when Drishtadumna came to Dronacharya. Bhagavad Gita begins like that. Duryodhan points out that you taught, he's your disciple, but he's going to kill you. So Dronacharya knew that Duryodhana is born to kill me, but still he did not hesitate to teach him military knowledge. Okay, what lesson we learn about competition and stress from this story? Now let's go back to Sagar Manthan Lila, the churning of the ocean. Yes.
When we chant will have many distractions, but how they will
Very
not
nice.
distracted by Mohini.
Yeah.
Spiritual intelligence will be stored. So no matter, like how you said that the senses are very powerful. Kutch has remembered everything even though he has died.
Yes. Yes, as Divyanambar was saying, that we have to develop our spiritual muscles. By chanting our spiritual muscles, spiritual Vivek Buddhi develops, spiritual intelligence develops. And in terms of difficulties, when there is dilemma, duvidha, dilemma, what should we do, what we should not do, then the spiritual intelligence comes very handy. And that we have to develop by chanting the holy name. Very nice. Another thing is, when the churning of the ocean of milk is happening, who is the main actor? Everywhere there is Krishna, you see, but credit goes to the demigods and the demons. They did the churning. So similarly, now this comes to the conclusion of today's discussion because we are way over time. Please listen carefully. We think that I am the doer. I have to finish this project. I have to take this exam. I have to get marks. I have to clear this interview. I have to get this job. I have to perform well so that I get promotion, so that I can keep my job. But we have to know that actually Krishna is the real doer. Krishna is the main ingredient in every yajna. Like in this churning, everywhere there is, on top there is Krishna, under it there is Krishna, nectar is brought by Krishna, the power to churn is given by, the idea is given by Krishna. But we simply follow Krishna's instructions, we will get the nectar. We will get the reward just by cooperating with Krishna's plan. But we should know that Krishna is always in control. If reversals come, like the mountain fell on the demons and demigods, crushed them. Reversals will come. Then the mountain sank to the bottom of the ocean. Reversals will come. Or the demigods were told, go and make friendship with make a truce with the demons. Very difficult to do that. Reversals, embarrassing situations, difficult situations will come. But we must follow dharma. And dharma is dharma to sakshat Bhagavat. Dharma is what Krishna tells. If Krishna says, tell Dronacharya that yes, your son Ashwatthama is dead, then loudly proclaim it. That is dharma. So dharma is what Krishna says. We should do what Krishna has told us in our workplace, in our college, in our university, in our education, in our job. And don't worry, Krishna will help you. Just like Prabhuji shared a personal example of how Krishna helped when the plastic surgeon said, I cannot do anything. You see? I'm telling you, all senior devotees here, they have had very nice experiences where Krishna reciprocates. Krishna reciprocates with the devotees. And when you experience Krishna's reciprocation in your life, then no one can tell you that God doesn't exist. Does God really exist? Does chanting really work? Yesterday, Prabhuji was telling me such a nice personal story. I will not embarrass him by telling that story, but such a personal story where he actually felt reciprocation of Krishna, where materially everything else had failed. And devotees have had so many such experiences. So as young students, my request is give Krishna a chance. Give Krishna consciousness a chance. I will conclude by telling the main way, the main key, how to deal with stress, which we all have in our life today. And the answer to stress is another S. Let this be the take-home message. S. Sharanagati. Surrender. If we have taken shelter of Krishna, then Krishna will take care of us. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanavaja. And what is Sharanagati, I will quickly explain and then I will stop. Srila Bhaktivinoda, actually in Vayu Puran, there is a verse आनुकूल संकल्पः प्रातिकूल्य विवर्जनम रक्षिष्यति विश्वासो गोप्तृत्व वरणं तथा आत्मनिक्षेप कार्पण्य षड्विधा शरणागति. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has broken down this verse in very simple Bengali. So you please sing after me. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Doya Puri.
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Doya Puri.
Swaparshada Sriya Dhama Saha Avatari. अत्यंत दुर्लभ प्रेम पुरी बारेदा
अत्यंत दुर्लभ प्रेम पुरी बारेदा
कृपाय शरणागति भक्ते प्राण दैन्य आत्मनिवेदन गोप्तृत्व वरण अवश्य रक्षिबे कृष्ण विश्वास पालन
अवश्य कृष्ण
अति अनुकूल मात्र कार्येण स्वीकार भक्ति प्रतिकूल भाव वर्जनांगीकार अडंग शरणागति होइते जाहा आहार प्रार्थने श्रीनंद कुमार Stop here. This is very beautiful. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that humility, dainya. Actually, His Grace Radhesham Prabhu recently gave a full series of lectures on all the 6 limbs of Sharanagati. So, dainya, humility is the first. You can write down the 6 limbs of Sharanagati. We can deal with stress, competition, failure, reversals in life by taking shelter of Krishna. Nothing else works in this world. We saw even the demigods could not help themselves. Who are we? All these demigods are very powerful. Yesterday rain came, we have to run to the car. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavan Kapil Dev says that Mad Bhayat Vati Vatoyam Surya Stapati Mad Bhayat
Surya Stapati Madhvayat
Indra Varsha Dahat Agni
Indra Varsha Dahat Agni
Mrutyuscharati Mad Bhayat.
Pratyusharati Madhvayat.
All these devatas are so powerful, but they are all working in fear of Krishna. Mad Bhayat Vati Vayudev is blowing the wind, all these hurricanes, tornadoes, out of fear of Krishna. Mad Bhayat Vati Vatoyam. Surya Stapati Mad Bhayat. The sun has got so much. Yesterday, Prabhu was saying some nuclear fission, fusion reactions. All Surya Dev is doing that. Vivaswan is doing out of fear of Krishna. Because Krishna says, you give light and heat. So Surya Dev is obeying. Indra Varsha. The Varsha, rain is sent by Indra. And Dahat Agni. And Agni Dev is creating fire out of fear of Krishna. What to speak of Agni Dev, Indra Dev, and Vayu Dev, and Surya Dev? Mrutyus charati madhaya. Even Yamraj gives mrutyu out of fear of Krishna. So everyone is afraid of Krishna. Krishna is the most powerful. Therefore, nothing else will work. All the devatas also take shelter of Krishna. Srila Radha Govind Maharaj says, like we have come to the house of our dear Prabhu, Vijay Narasimha Prabhu, and everywhere you see photos of Krishna. So Srila Radha Govind Maharaj says, if you go to the house of Shivji, if you go to the house of Ganeshji, if you go to the house of Surya Dev, on the walls you will see photos of Radha, Krishna, Narayan, Sitaram. They are also taking shelter of Krishna. And now Prabhuji will cover that in more detail with God and God, gods and God. So we have to take shelter of Krishna, nothing else will work. And to take shelter, we need humility. Without humility, one cannot take Sharanagati, one cannot surrender to Krishna because we think I can do something. Karta hamiti manyate. So that is first is Dainya. Atma Nivedana means to know that everything belongs to Krishna. Manasa Deha Geha Jo Kichumor Arpilu Tuapade Nanda Kishore. Everything belongs to Krishna. And Goptritya Varan, my maintainer is Krishna. This faith we should have. My maintainer is not my insurance policy. My maintainer is not my employer. My maintainer is Krishna. This faith we should have. Goptritya Varan. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna Vishwasa Palan. We should always have faith, no matter how the competition is, no matter how the immigration laws are changing, no matter how bad the recession is. Krishna will always take care of me. Krishna will always protect me. Srila Prabhupada would say, if Krishna can feed tons and tons of food and gallons of water every day to the huge African elephants, this little bhakta, Krishna has no problem in maintaining us. So Avashya Rakshibe Krishna, Krishna will always take care of us. And this is most important. Bhakti anukula matra karyera svikar. What is favorable for bhakti, that we should do. Every time, like the video yesterday Radhesham Prabhu showed, there are two options. Eat junk food, eat healthy food. Watch Facebook or do your hear audiobook, some Bhagavad Gita audiobooks on this radio, or hear some news, Bollywood, Hollywood, Tollywood. So we have always choice. So we should choose things that are favorable for bhakti. Anukulyasya sankalpa, and what is unfavorable for bhakti, we should give it up. Pratikulya vivarjanam. Every time in college, in life, in job, you'll have a choice. Do what is favorable for bhakti, and please don't do what is unfavorable for bhakti, because if you follow dharma, dharma will protect you. Dharma rakshita, dharma rakshati rakshita. If you protect dharma, you act according to dharma, dharma will give you protection. So this is a simple thing we have to remember, that I have to take shelter of Krishna. Every time I have choice, do what is favorable for Krishna consciousness and do what is unfavorable. Give up what is unfavorable for Krishna consciousness. Always know that Guru and Krishna are watching me. Krishna knows everything. And if you are simply conscious of Krishna and we worship Krishna, then Krishna will take care of us. Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvama. We have come to this temporary miserable world. We take shelter of Krishna. And mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasadat parishyasi. If we take shelter of Krishna, then we will cross over all obstacles of life. Whatever obstacles they are, Krishna will take care of us. This innocent faith we should have and remain sheltered at the lotus feet of Krishna. The motivation to do that comes from Vaishnava association, devotee association. Therefore, it is important we come for such programs regularly, weekly, and renew our vows of Sharanagati, our vows of surrender to Krishna. So that is the message I wanted to give. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Hare
much,
Krishna.
Ajay. It's a wonderful session.
I'm just going to speak 10 minutes only, a short talk. Very excited to hear the story of Kacha and Brihaspati, isn't it? And also so many lessons from that. And he brought it to pure devotional service so beautifully. So, and it was very thrilling to learn so many lessons from all of you, and recollected also. Very nice. So I will not speak at length because we have an afternoon session after the prasad also. I speak briefly 5 very simple things which practically can help you, 5 outlooks which can help you with building stress inside your heart. You can remember this ABCD, very simple. A is, in this world, all of us have a secret desire to become great. We may not say that outside, but deep within the heart, when we render devotional service also in this world, we have 2 components, the material component, spiritual component. Spiritual component is, I simply want to please Guru and Krishna. Material component is, I want to impress the people of the world. I want to become great. Like for example, if you are producing a video, most people work on popularizing the video than producing a good quality content. Which is more important?
Good quality.
But many people, like 2 boys they made a music with guitar. One boy actually played guitar and sang a very beautiful devotional song, and that went very viral. And he didn't put it in the YouTube, somebody else put it. Seeing that the other boy produced a similar song, and he personally put it, and he tried to promote it. He wrote to so many people. He got frustrated because it didn't go so well. He got only a few thousand views, while the other boy got million views. So he became envious of the other boy also. So in this world, many people try to become singers or speakers or professionals or great academic students. They get frustrated, especially when you are trying to impress the people. The impressing game is a frustrating game. But there is a very simple formula. First one I want to tell you. Please all of you repeat this. Aspire to do good. Krishna will make you great. The first lesson. Like Jatayu, for example, when he was very old eagle, he blocked Ravana from taking Sita away. Ravana said, "You old eagle, get off my way. Otherwise I'll kill you," he said. And Jatayu humbly said, "As long as I am alive, you cannot take Sita away." So although he was very old, with his claws, he tore the kavach of Ravana. With his beaks, he killed the mule, which was, driving the Pushpaka Viman. Then Ravana understood, although it's a old eagle, still it has a lot of conviction in protecting Sita. So then Ravana took off his sword and cut off one of the wings of Jatayu. And Jatayu came down gliding from the sky to the ground. At that time, Sita wailed very loudly, closing her face. "Alas, Jatayu, you are falling to the ground." Hearing her crying sound, again Jatayu rose up to the sky, with other wing. Again he was slapping Ravana, pat, 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 pat. Ravana was still thinking, even with one wing he is beating me. Then he took the sword and cut that also. Then Jatayu fell to the ground. And Ravana, of course, took Sita away. From a material calculation, did Jatayu win or lose? What do you think? He lost. Anybody may think that, he could not protect Sita. But when Ram Lakshman came, Ram cried tears for Jatayu. And he took Jatayu on his lap. And he treated Jatayu just like his own father. He performed Antyeshti for Jatayu also. And before Jatayu left, the last part of his, I was about to die. Ram said, "This very evening, I will send you to Vaikuntha," he said. There is one book called as Ati Manusha Stotram. That book says, although Rama did Naralila, there are certain pastimes where Rama declared certain things from which he proved his supremacy. This is one of the pastimes. He said, "This very evening, I will send you to Vaikuntha." So, Jatayu aspired to do good. He ended up becoming great. Srila Prabhupada came to America. Did Prabhupada make a plan that I'll become famous? Prabhupada was making Krishna famous, and Krishna made Prabhupada famous. Isn't it? So, one of my first lessons I'm telling you is, don't try to become famous. Try to do something genuine in life. And if Krishna wills, Krishna may make you great. Or he may not make us great. But the job is done. Krishna is pleased and you'll go back to Godhead. That's why I told you. Aspire to do good, Krishna may make you great. Okay. Why? How is it related to stress? I will tell you. Each of you ask yourself, when you are performing in academics or sports or any cultural activity, more than performing it nice, you are always thinking, how many eyes are watching me? How many friends are giving me likes? How many give me dislikes? No? We want social validation. You agree with me? Or is it my imagination? How many of you agree it happens? Correct? No? Yeah. That's why I told you. Those devotees who are genuine, whether it is material life or spiritual life, they don't chase after social validation. They chase after only Krishna validation. Prabhupada says in Ishopanishad, one should become recognized by the Lord. If you are recognized by the Lord, you are a success. Whole world may not know you, but Krishna will know you, and you'll go back to God. If whole world lifts you up and gives you 1 million views, and Krishna is unhappy with you, you'll be stuck in this world. That's the first point. Second point, all of you repeat this point. Bhakti is for all,
Bhakti is for all,
big and small.
big and small.
Why you need to know this? Generally, we think bhakti is only for very big people, very advanced people. And God will only recognize if you are a pure devotee, otherwise not, you tend to think. But there was a small squirrel who rendered a little service, isn't it? And Lord Rama recognized him. He was very small, but he was giving his full capacity. So when you give your full capacity, the Lord is pleased. Because you are putting your best. Therefore, we say, do your best and no, do your best and let Krishna do the rest. So you do your best and let Krishna do the rest. So if you are putting your best, then even though you may be small, your bhakti will become recognized. You will see that, like you were telling about Matanga Rishi's disciple, Shabari. She was an old woman, 90 plus. Nobody may recognize such an old woman, but Lord Rama recognized. And she gave some fruits after tasting how good they are. So, bhakti is for everybody, big and small. There was one Guruji in his ashrama. There were four disciples. And they all became devotees also. But Guru found that they had little inferiority complex. So he wanted to teach them a good lesson. So he told them to go in 4 directions. And told them, go and bring me dry leaves of a jackfruit tree. They all went in different directions. Evening, they all came back with empty hands. Guru asked, what happened? Why you didn't bring? One of them said, I was picking dry leaves from a tree, under a tree. One man came and said, no, you can't touch them. Because I use them as a fuel in the furnace. If you want, I'll give you 1 kilo and you have to pay for it. So I didn't have any money, I came back, he said. Then another devotee said, I went in another direction. One man was combining these leaves and making a leaf plate. And he said, if you want one leaf plate, you have to pay 1 rupee. It was also charged. So I couldn't buy, I came back. Third fellow said, I went in another direction. One old lady was, breaking those leaves and making a powder, and she was making some medicine out of it. So she said, this is it's of medicinal value. So I cannot give these leaves. So if you want, you have to pay for it. And the fourth fellow came back and said, one fellow was selling this dry leaves as a fuel for the furnace. He also couldn't give. So none of them could bring any dry leaves. They all told Guruji. Then Guru told, from this, what did you learn? One valuable lesson. And they couldn't immediately come up with the lesson. Guruji himself told them the lesson. He said, even a dry leaf is not useless. How can you be useless? So never think yourself to be useless in life. Even if you go to school, you got the last rank in the class, you failed in academics, or you are fired from the job, you couldn't do anything like, still you are not useless, because you will see that there will always be something valuable you can do. Einstein was fired from the school also. This Bill Gates left the school himself. Of course, he left and started Microsoft. Later on, he got another plan. So, one should know that even though one may be small, one may be useful in a way that you yourself may not know. Krishna may later on bring out. Once upon a time in the forest, a small rat was making noise, like making the sound. The lion was sleeping and he got disturbed. He got up. He shouted at the rat. He caught the rat in his hand. And the rat was trembling in his hand. Sasa said, please don't eat me, he was saying. And the lion laughed and said, even if I eat you, you won't be filling my belly. You will go to one corner of my belly. You are not even fit to be breakfast. He said. And then the lion said, why did you disturb my sleep? He said, sorry, sir. He was saying. And then the rat told him, sir, if you spare my life, I will come to your help someday in future. And the lion heartily laughed. You tiny creature, you will be of help to me, who is the king of the jungle? He said, get away from here, don't make noise. He threw him away. But 6 months later, once the lion was caught in a net, and he was trying his best to get out, he couldn't. At that time, the rat saw the plight. he came and cut the net because God has given him that type of tooth. So lion may be big and rat may be small, but they both have been bestowed with some ability by God. Lion may be king of the jungle, but rat may be insignificant. But even though he is so small, he can do something which the king of the jungle is unable to do. You see? So every one of us sitting here, you may have some unique potential which is not yet discovered by you. You should never feel you are useless, because when you feel you are useless, you feel inferiority. And that inferiority kills you. Like somebody lost a job, for example. They face lot. I mean, they feel a lot of fear to show their face to any friends. How can I tell anybody I lost my job, or I didn't score well, or whatever. So academics is one small part of your life. You have many other aspects of life. You have relationship with parents. You have your, devotional service. You have later on, you may take a profession. Many a times in profession, you hardly use what you studied in the college. You will totally do a different thing. So you have nothing to fear. In Pune, one boy lost a job, IT job. So he tried for a job for 3 months, he didn't get. So then he started this Dabba Prasadam, Dabba Prasad means make prasad and give it to college students. He started. Immediately he got 20, 30, 50 people per head. He was getting 2,000 rupees profit he was making. Within a month, he got 100 dabbas. And now within the next 6 months, he got 500 people taking. Now he has made multiple units for cooking. So 500 into 2,000, how much it is? 500 into 2,000? How much? 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs, that 1 lakh. But whatever it is, he's making big money now. And he doesn't have everything, he manages on phone only. Now I often see him at the temple chanting and dancing in the morning. I asked him, hey, what about IT company? He said, I kicked away the job. I didn't need the job. He said, now I have another business going on, which I manage on my phone. So why am I telling you? He said his father was running a hotel in his native place. So he had the talent. But now his father left, told him to go leave the village and go to city. He became engineer. But when he lost the IT job, naturally his father's, whatever he was doing in the hotel, the talent came. Now he's flourishing the business. Why am I telling you? In this world, there is always plan B, plan C, plan D. There are so many other plans you can take. And you may be apparently small, but you may be able to do something which many others cannot do. So one should be confident. That's the second one. Third one, please repeat. Compare yourself with yourself.
Compare yourself with yourself.
What is the meaning of comparing yourself with yourself? You see what were you doing last year and this year what you are doing, and make some improvement. Improve yourself. Think of how you can improve yourself. Because if you compare yourself with, for example, if somebody is doing pole vault, pole vault, they take a stick and jump. If he looks at a wrestler or a bodybuilder, he may think, I am so thin. He is so fat. But bodybuilder, can you do pole vault? He cannot do. Therefore, it is foolishness to compare a pole vault man to a bodybuilder. Is it not true? It would be foolishness. So, you will never find animals and birds comparing themselves with one another. Like, for example, a squirrel was sitting at the top of a tree and a giraffe came closer to the tree and giraffe said, hey, squirrel, I admire you because you're so small. If any enemy comes, you can immediately run into the hole. You are so nice. And squirrel said, how do you praise me? I am so small, you are so tall. How do you praise me? But giraffe said, when enemy comes, when I run, my neck can get stuck in some tree. But whereas you are so tiny, God has made you so tiny, you can. So in this way, they praise one another. They didn't have any envy. But even if you compare with somebody, you should praise one another rather than, try to feel inferiority or pull the leg of somebody. Nevertheless, there is one story I heard where a bird was comparing itself with others. So once upon a time, a crow, he was telling that, of course, he felt inferiority and his wife told him, why are you feeling inferior? I am happy with you. He said, no, I am not at all happy. So he went to a cuckoo and said, oh, cuckoo, look at you, how sweet is your voice. He makes such sweet sounds. Look at my voice. Crank, 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 like that it makes sounds. Look at my voice. So Cuckoo said, anyway, look at you and me. We both are black. It's not that I am anyway greater. And the Cuckoo said, I am also not very happy with myself. Look at the parrot, how beautiful parrot looks. Parrot is a green, beautiful body, and its beaks are reddish, looks very attractive. And the crow agreed. So he went to the parrot and said, Parrot, you are the most beautiful bird in the entire world. He said. And the parrot said, maybe you think so, but I don't think so. He said, why? He said, look at my wings. It's so short wings I have. Look at the peacock, how beautiful, big wings it has, and peacock dances. When it moves, it has such a beautiful feather. He said, in all of the birds, peacock is the most beautiful, most wonderful bird to be. Then crow agreed. Then the crow flew here and there searching for a peacock. At last he found one big peacock with big wings in a zoo. So he looked at the peacock and said, oh, peacock, I have come to see you. Everybody says you are the most beautiful. But the peacock was very morose. He said, you see, crow, because I am beautiful, they captured and put me in a zoo. Nobody will catch you and keep you in a zoo. As we say, you are a free bird. You can fly wherever you want. Therefore, I consider you to be better than me also, he said. Then the crow became very happy. He flew back to his nest and told his wife, even a peacock called me that I am better. Now I am very peaceful now, he said. Now he gave up all comparisons now. He remained at home very peaceful. So the point is, in our life, you should see what God has given you and not keep always thinking what you do not have. There are so many things we have which we are not using enough, properly. How many of you honestly tell me you have more than one pen you have with you? Correct? No, many of us, correct? We have. Then we should give it away to somebody. If you're not using and keeping, that is called atyahara. Accumulating more than required. And like this, how many of you have too many books you have accumulated, but you never get time to read? Correct? No? Nowadays, if anybody gifts me a book, I tell them, please don't gift me. Give it to me for a month or two. They ask me, why, Prabhuji? Why can't you accept it? If you give me a gift, I'll never read it. If you lend it to me for 2 months, I will have to give it back. Correct? No? I will read it. So, in the same manner, there are many hidden talents you have. You are not yet, taking out time to polish them and use them. Like I always wanted to learn harmonium. I never get time. But I have some sense of music. If I learn, I have a lot of eagerness to learn some beats from Narendra Swami's beautiful beats. So many times, how many of you have some aspirations which are still latent in your mind? You have not got time to express. Correct, no? You all have that. So if you focus on them, you will never feel inferiority complex. The inferiority complex increases when you unnecessarily compare with your friends and peers, especially those peers who discourage you and mock at you, ridicule you. You have to keep away from them. You need uplifting association. If you are an uplifting association of peers, you will feel more. You need a Jambavan type friends. Jambavan encourage whom? You need that type of friends who can bring the best out of you. Like out of Suruchi, Suniti. Suruchi brought the worst out of Dhruva. And Suniti brought best. Person is same. Who? Dhruva. But from the same Dhruva, one brought the worst. Because when he came close to Suruchi, Dhruva's eyes became bloodshot and lips were quivering, body was trembling. He became filled with passion and anger. Correct, no? And the same Dhruva, when he went to Suniti, he got a chance to meet Narada and Vishnu, and then his eyes were shedding not hot tears, now cold tears of love. Lips were quivering to chant shlokas. Body was trembling in transcendental ecstasy. Just see? Same Dhruva. One brought the worst, another one brought. So connect with those friends who will bring what out of you? Best. Yeah. That type of friendship is needed. Those will be uplifting. That's third one. Fourth one, please repeat. Devotional qualification is far superior to professional qualifications.
Spiritual, devotional qualification is far superior to
Professional.
professional qualification.
See, somebody may be professionally astute, but if you have devotion, you may not know how powerful the devotional power is. Like you will see, devotional power can change your destiny also. Like Jayadratha, when he was hidden by the Kauravas, Arjuna was growing fire to enter the fire. At the time, Krishna blocked the sun and told Arjuna, don't enter the fire, hit Jayadratha now. Because everybody thought sun is set. Jayadratha came out and Kauravas put him in the front and they were all dancing happily in the war. Now the war has ended. And Krishna told Arjuna, hit him. When Arjuna hit Jayadratha, there was a loud sound. Fire upon Arjuna! Coward! People said. And Arjuna was closing his ears and he was weeping practically. Krishna, you said I did it. Just see what they are all saying about me. Krishna said, don't worry. Very soon they will understand. Then Krishna removed that. And then again the sun was shining. And they were all wondering, why, how the sun has come back again. Have you ever seen sun which is set again coming back? So Krishna can change your destiny. So therefore, if you are devotionally aligned with the Lord, how he will change destiny, you cannot even predict. He can do. You know, Pandavas were observed by Dhritarashtra that they are still alive. They have got Draupadi's hand. They had a meeting quickly, emergency meeting. And Duryodhana said, let them not come back to Hastinapur. Give them some God-forsaken place, good for nothing place, and let them rule that place, and then we will rule the whole world, he was saying. So they were given one place called Kandaprastha. But by touch of Krishna, Kandaprastha became Indraprastha. You see, in your life, if there is Krishna's touch, then Krishna can do miracles in your life. So you will see, as soon as Arjuna accepted Krishna on his side by going to Dwaraka, immediately you will see that all the cosmic forces become eager to support Arjuna because he is on whose side? He is on Krishna's side. Like you will see, you know, Agnidev gave Rath, chariot to Arjuna. And Indra gave horses to Arjuna. And Hanuman agreed to, you know, sit in the flag and give war cries. He got a lot of support. And Shiva came forward and said, take this Pashupatastra. And many devatas gave celestial weapons, everything. So you align on yourself to Krishna's will, all the cosmic forces will align with you, and will cooperate with you. And you will be wondering how things are all aligned in place. Miracles can happen. I have personal experience of this. When my GBC in Pune, Parvati Gopaksha Maharaj, he told me that all your congregation wants a big temple in Pune. You are staying in camp temple, it's a small temple. I told Maharaj, I'm really not for the new temple at all. Because Shravanam Kirtanam should be the main thing. Let us have hundreds of Bhagavatam study circles in the city. That congregation have the relish of Bhagavatam. We don't want to get a headache of a new temple. I was just trying to brush it away. 6 months later, Maharaj again called me for a meeting where all congregation had already met him. Maharaj called me for a meeting and said, see Rajna, now they all are very insistent, they want a new temple. Maharaj asked him, how much money you think we can go for a temple so that your Shravanam Kirtanam will not be affected? I said, 5 crores, I said. Maharaj said, how can you have a temple in 5 crores? It should be at least 40, 50 crores. He said, and I thought it's going to be a big headache. Then Maharaj asked the congregation. They were all very enthusiastic, except myself. So because Maharaj, my GBC, and my spiritual master said, whatever Gopaksha Maharaj says, you agree with it, he said. So then we agreed. That was in 2007. So 2012, the temple came up. Now the temple, we have spent about 80 crores we have spent in the temple. Now I don't even know how the money came, how the temple was constructed. So the big project in 6-acre land. Because I never was directly involved except one thing. I was doing the interior decoration with all the Lord's pastimes. Making the Mahajan and the Dhruva pastime and, Narasimha Leela and Krishna's 5 Rasas Leela. All that I was designing. And through a devotee, we were getting it done, all the murals and everything. My focus was that somebody took over construction, somebody brought the fundraising they did, Somebody was overseeing this, that. Somebody brought the president of India. I could clearly see that all the cosmic forces got aligned, and making the temple happen. When I opened my eyes and saw beautiful temple was there. But I was all the time running around here and there doing preaching and everything. So one thing you can see, because if you do, therefore there is one Hindi saying, Jab tum Bhagavan naam mein, Bhagavan tumhare kaam mein, Jab tum apne kaam mein, Bhagavan apne dham mein. How many have understood this? Understood it? What it says, if you chant Krishna's names and align with him, then Lord himself puts himself to work and do all your activities. And if you are busy with your work, then Krishna is busy doing Leela in his own abode. He will say, oh, you are busy with your work, I am busy with my work. Lord's work is what? Leela. So, in this way, the credit of making the beautiful temple should be given to the congregation of Pune. They all did that. And still I'm continuing to do the same thing. Right from day one, this kind of camps, holding camps for the youth, congregation, leaders, different programs I've been doing. So that's what I told you, that devotional, if we work on getting devotional qualification, that is far superior to professional. Another example I'll tell you. Our Radha Damodar temple. In the early morning, one old lady, probably 80 to 83 years old lady, she used to bring water for Abhishek of Radha Damodar. It would be very dim light, a moonlit night. She would be bringing and just keeping it outside the sanctum sanctorum, and she will go away. Nobody recognized her. Her body would be trembling and she would be carrying the water. Frail woman. She would come and keep the water and go. One person observed it, was Srila Prabhupada, from his Radha Damodar temple room. Prabhupada said daily she would come. Prabhupada said she will definitely go back to Godhead, Prabhupada said. Because, she didn't impress anybody. But she had the devotional feeling that I should serve the Lord even in my very old age. So, in this way, if we make an effort to serve the Lord, then Lord will recognize your service. And now coming to practical life, what is the meaning of devotional is greater than professional? Let us assume that, say, one of your colleagues in your company is super smart and can turn out a lot of work due to their skills and abilities and intelligence. So you are not so smart. Let us say, for example, sometimes you feel fear that, oh, my colleague is so smart and I am not. Whenever it comes to firing, they may fire me. You may have a fear. But there are a few things you can do, which if you do, you may also be considered equally valuable like that person. For example, if you are humble in dealing with your boss, if you are cooperative, if you are hardworking, if you are punctual, if you are unassuming, if you are a good team player, all these things are sometimes greater qualification than a very skilled person who is an egomaniac. I'll tell you a real life example. There was one boy in Pune, he did MBA in Pune, in a very average college, not so well-known college. He wrote CAT exam and all, and he couldn't crack it. He failed 2-3 times, and then he took a MBA in an average college. Later on, there was an interview in Bangalore, so he was called, he went. Out of the 5 boys who sat in the interview, they gave a GD, group discussion. 3 of them are IIM. And the other 2 were this boy. So as soon as this boy saw the other 3 IIMs, he thought, there's only one job available. One of the IIMs will get. He thought like that. Anyway, he attended the GD. The moment the topic was put on the table, the 3 IIM fellows were jumping with many points. They had a lot of things to say. But this boy from Pune, he was just noting down all the points. Whoever spoke, whatever points, he was noting down. And then those 3 guys finished speaking, and then the 4th other boy couldn't make many points. He made some point he made. In this point, this fellow was the last boy. And he spoke about each of those points. What the first boy said, what second boy said. He appreciated their points. And then after hearing all the other 4 points after speaking them, and then he said, if you all like, I can add another point from my side. And they all said, yes, go ahead. And he spoke his points. And in a panel, people who are standing all around watching how these boys are doing GD, They were making marking. Later on, they went to a room and they discussed, and they chose this boy for the job. He wrote a 4-page mail to me. And the only reason they told him was, we are not looking for very skilled and highly talented people. We were looking for people who can work with other people. And we were also looking for people who value others' talents and abilities and who also listen to others well. Because you may be from average college, but we saw you are very mature and you are a good listener. And also you are respectful to others and you are able to play in a team. These guys are very smart, but they are like lions in the forest. They cannot work with anybody. We want people like ants who can work with others. So you got chosen. So in this way, you may not be somebody very outstanding or a, very big celebrity or somebody, but even those who may be mediocre also, they can focus on some of these things which I told you now. What all things I told you can do? 5, 6 things I told you. Cut, one after another I told you. What I told you? No. Only in this point just now. I am not asking about ABC. And the D only I told you. Okay, if you are humble, hardworking, punctual, cooperative, yeah? Unassuming, yes. Good listener, correct now? These are also very important, correct now? And if you have this, many companies may consider that, oh, this is a very valuable person, we can keep. And he does his best. There are people who are steady performers, year after year after year. Company keeps them also. So that's what I was saying. So the last one, E, is empowerment by prayer. Empowerment by
prayer.
You see, prayer means the difference between what you can do and what God can do. It is said. That means your ability plus prayer is God's ability. God can do infinite work. You can do only a small work. So you can see Arjuna prayed to Krishna that please be on my side. And then you can see the miracle what happened in Mahabharata. You can see. Prabhupada was coming to America. He prayed to the Lord, I am going to America, please bless me. And you can see what, superhuman activities Prabhupada did. Miraculous things. So Hanuman, before jumping to Lanka, he offered a prayer to Lord Ram, Vayu, Surya, who is his guru. Those prayers, therefore it is said, prayers go up, blessings come down. So when you are blessed, you can do things which humanly people cannot do by prayer. So before embarking on anything great, one should always offer a prayer. You get additional strength to face the challenges which will come on your way. You also get clarity. You get, you will be able to keep your focus and not get distracted when you get those blessings. So Prabhupada, after prayer in the Jaladuta, when he came to America, without any diversion or distraction or dilution, deviation, he could stick to his goal, and then rest is history, we have seen. So we should be like a child dependent on the parents, like Prabhuji was saying about Sharanagati, and Prabhu was emphasizing on the holy name. So these are all components of prayerful person. Prayerful people always chant the holy name. Prayerful people always do Sharanagati and taking shelter of the Lord. And then you will be empowered. What is the meaning of empowered? Capital M powered means mercy powered. Empowered, correct? So you'll be powered by mercy. Just like imagine you are like an arrow kept in Lord Rama's bow. Like that he sends you. So your activities will be powered by mercy of Lord Ram. That's how Hanuman was powered by Rama's mercy. Jai Shri Ram! Like that he went. So the mercy power. So in five things you remember? A for? Aspire to become great, or what I said?
No. Aspire to do good.
Aspire to do good. Krishna may make you great. Correct, no? Yeah. And second?
A peace for everyone.
Peace for all, big and small. Okay. Third one? And make an effort to improve. Okay. Yeah. And then D? Devotion qualification is far superior to professional expertise. And E? Improvement types. Thank you very much. Great.
संकीर्तनांत प्रभू की जय.